Still, if everything is sounding fine, then we can get back to it. More RimWorld. It's another day, so of course there's more RimWorld. Yesterday, Randy must have fallen asleep. I don't really think he did anything to us. Okay, there was a wee bit of a mech drop there, but something that John and Lona took care of, no problem. John came so close to death, but he survived. I really should try and keep a Resurrector mech serum on hand for just in cases. But those do not come about early, so instead maybe I should build a sarcophagus in the freezer so that if somebody does perish, we can keep them there and then go on a quest to try and save their lives, or bring back their lives. In any case, what did happen last time was John had a ceremony to become a count. It was a count, was it not? Yes, there we go. He was going to become a count, get his maximum level Psilink, get another permit. Oh, it was going to be glorious. But, well, you now see that we hold Imperial troops here on charges. They claimed that we had an undignified throne room. Now, their claims are somewhat substantiated by the reduction in the impressiveness of the throne room, but the prosecution claims that it was them that brought in the dirt to mar the ceremony. They made this place all mucky, and then they themselves pointed out their own muck and decided to cancel the ceremony. So I decided to cancel their rights to live. We put on a full-on stampede attack on them, crushed them, and have thrown them in jail. They are awaiting some basic treatment, and then we will decide how to carry on with that. I don't think many of them will be leaving here alive. I'm not entirely sure any of them will be leaving here alive. The question is what to do with Theodosia. Actually, I've just had a bit of an idea right now. One of them will leave alive. We don't know who, though. They're going to get to find out who. They're going to fight for the right to leave here alive. Everybody else is going to die. So... We'll get them all dragged in there and patched up. You know what? Since I want them to actually fight for me, I'm going to be extra nice and give them actual crappy medicine. And they're going to fight for it. Now, the old git here is going to be seated in that fight on the grounds that he is pathetic. He's a decent fighter, though, and he is nimble, so he might pull out a few tricks on us. Good. That's how it's going to go down. As for you, Honorios the Warmongerer, you're going to... Yeah, you're going to be picked up by somebody, surely. Oh, somebody's being carried. I don't have 5 of them, I have 6 of them. Okay, well, very well. There are also animals to tend to, and a lot of drugs to be carried. There's a lot for us to do. This was meant to be a fancy ceremony, but none of this drama. Instead, it's drama to the max. Oh, that's Nyx. I thought it was some kind of light bulb there. At least a light bulb would be useful. So, we'll get these people treated too. Whilst we're at it, would you mind stripping them? I don't want them getting any ideas with their hefty recon armor. And there's a lot of cleaning for Orlov to do, but I'll have you haul this stuff for now. How many liver bribes to recover nations? I'm thinking about reducing the amount that I harvest organs so much. It's getting a little tedious to keep going through people and go harvest, harvest, harvest. It's worth good money, but having good fun in the game is more important. Alright, good job, Health, taking good care of all these people. Orlov, if you would kindly strip the other ones. Now that they've been tended to. There we go. Ooh, pretty crappy tend, even though it was with actual medicine. I just really don't want these people getting any ideas. One thing you could say is that normally playing, if you set up kill boxes, there's not a problem getting all the in-caps you could ever want anyway, but I really don't want to be playing with those, so I won't. Ooh, okay. Randy must have heard me saying that he was asleep and has decided to send in an enormous amount of wargs. Wargs are very, very deadly. In fact, that is such a bad thing that I think we're going to be staying indoors for a little bit. Let's have everybody set on cower indoors, and make sure that outdoor animals stay outdoors. Remove outdoor animals from having access to here, please. This should be plenty of ground for them to graze on, so they shouldn't need access to the north at all. So wargs are very powerful. They can go down in a few well-placed high-damage shots, but they're also just, oof, especially in that kind of numbers. A heavily muscled wolf-like creature with vicious unnatural claws and absurdly powerful bite. Descendants of weaponized military animals created for population suppression. Now I like the sound of that, but I also like the sound of staying away from them for a bit. At least it wasn't alpha beavers, at least it wasn't indeed. Now one thing I believe Royalty added was this Scaria thing. Normally when you got one of these you'd be, oh excellent, I have a lot of animals that I can get their skins and meat from. And Scaria reduces that by about 70% or more, because when they die with Scaria, they rot instantly, so you can't eat them. Well, I mean, you can eat a rotting body, but no one's gonna like it that much. What's John being tended to for again? Oh yes, the plague. How could we forget? Are these full or something? Oh, that was too much for you to put inside our hampers. I'm gonna need more hampers. In fact, I want to finally get around to expanding my jail. Especially since I have more people here that I want to keep for a little bit longer. I'm thinking about making a larger jail with separated rooms for separate gladiators. Now, please clean up this filthy hospital. Sterile floors help with dirt a lot, but they can't help with a dozen elephants trampling through the place. What exactly does it do to their healthy? Feed Royal Court Scaria warg for science! Actually, I have a plan. Where's my plan? I am going to edit prison food and say that they can actually eat raw... Oh, berries is already there, but they can actually eat raw corn. And what I'm going to do is zone a stockpile area right here, maybe here as well. Is that overkill? Maybe, maybe not. And I'm actually going to say that this is a place where corn can go. Nothing but corn can go to. Of critical importance. Are these critical? Hopefully not. They're not, they're normal. Okay, well if it's normal, this doesn't need to be critical, it can just be important. That way they can feed themselves. I'm a little tired of my people getting up and going and feeding prisoners. It takes valuable labor time. Also, continue cleaning. You're on more hauling than cleaning, which is a mistake. There's a lot of filth around here that needs to be cleaned up. Some upstart Imperials decided to pick a fight with me. Nice thing about man-hunting animals is that they're only hunting men. They're not hunting my animals that are roaming around out here, so they won't go for Elephant Cab 1, for example. Would be a terrible shame if we had some allies with exotic goods arrive, though. Yes, a big shame. The thing about the man-hunting part is that it wouldn't take down the animals that have the goods. So I guess it's not that worth it. When the throne room was expanded, was the cleaning room port expanded as well? Almost definitely not. Thanks for pointing that out. Hair has been torn to death? Oh, well, I think the wargs are predators and they only eat corpses. So actually they might go for the elephants. Well, there's only one of them roaming around out there. He would be able to defend himself, but I have a feeling he's about to be eaten. I have something of a plan. New area. Temp. Temp is just going to be here. And our elephant friend is going to go to Temp. Get away now, elephant buddy, or those wargs are going to get really hungry and eat you up. Now, I don't know if they'll hunt elephant. Oh, no, 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 no! Okay. Oof. That was not the way I wanted you to go to temp. They may or may not break this down. But they might break it down. They're trying to get in. Oh, that was not good. I don't know if that granite door is going to hold, and I'm quite certain that Nyx wouldn't get there in time to start fixing it, but I gotta try. Oh, there's no way he'll get there in time. This is about to be very, very bad! Oh, this is going to be extremely bad. Oh. Ooh. Damn you, elephant friend, you've killed me. Well, I killed me by trying to save that elephant. I should have done it that he goes up here, then here, then here. I didn't think he'd take that route, but of course he would. It was slightly shorter. Huh, yeah, cower indoors might be more cowering and more indoors than previous. And maybe Nyx shouldn't be heading out there for that. This number of wargs would tear apart any reinforcements that I bring in, and they would do a number to my already injured elephants here. Yeah, it might be time for a new and deeper level of cowering indoors. But the thing is, this is outdoors in general because of this setup. Huh. They would even tear apart the thrumbos of that, I'm certain. And these wouldn't retreat, they're all going to fight to the last warg. I could tell all of my people to stay in one place, but Plo is still injured and needing treatment. These guys are all tended to at least. There's doors open, I don't like that. Okay, go and ensure that that door is closed. We're making a new temp area. Everyone's gonna go and cower in here. If that means they have to sleep in here, so be it. At least they can get some work done in here. If they break in and get in here, though, that's everybody toast. Some people are quite far away. They won't get in there before the wargs come and ruin their day. Is there food in here? Yes, there is food in there. This is about to be very bad. But I could at least have some strangers come and distract everybody for me. Points north, remove that tiny temp zone. Very true. Let's also remove our little animal friend from that temp zone. Maybe the elephant calf should stay on indoor animals then. Doesn't really matter if the wargs get in here. Wargs don't eat kibble, they only eat corpses and raw meat, I believe. There we go, raw meat and corpses. And I don't have much of either, but they will make those corpses if they so desire. There we go. This creature is a predator. When hungry, it will hunt smaller creatures. See, I don't know if that involves elephants, but it might well involve baby elephants. Alright, everybody, it's time for temporary measures. Get over there ASAP. Even you, Orlov, well, after you've closed this door for us. They're coming over here at a disastrously fast speed. If they keep this door open, that's bad news for us. Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Alright, well, this is home now. Enjoy. It's gonna be bad news for these guys if they attempt a prison break. Uh-oh. Igor. Igor, now is the time for you to stay on indoor animals before you bring them indoors as well. As I suspected, Elephant Calf was eaten alive. Tragic, I know. Hey, Boomer. Oh, Boomer can't call anybody. Is Orlov even capable of social? Incapable of dumb labor. I wonder if you can call our friends for us. Call the Tiaras and tell them we need immediate military assistance. And by Tiaras, I mean the Concords. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Nick's go and repair that door before it breaks down. Oh, you won't do social. Boomer called Orlov's uncle a dragon. No respect for our slave, I see. Okay, this is pretty bad. We can't repair that wooden door in time. We might, however, be able to make a wall here. I mean, we are pretty desperate at this point. If those wargs get in, we are toast, and not in a good way. Structure. Wall. Is it really only slate we have here? Slate will do. Yeah, Zilla, get on making that slate wall ASAP. Oh, looks like we might not need to. Might not need to. Forget about it. As long as these doors remain exceedingly closed, we're okay. As long as nobody tries to open them. Okay, okay. Wall raise, Jake. Yeah, wall raise could help us in a pinch. No kidding, any reinforcements I bring in, I'm gonna get torched by these. But they might convince them to leave this area. And that would be nice. Forbid the doors so nobody attempts silly things. You have to keep them allowed, or else people might... well, people won't be able to fix doors if they're not in the allowed areas, but you are right. Let's prevent stupidity. Alright, let's do something stupid though. Let's get our allies... Where's John? Okay, John is smelting that silver warhammer as we wanted him to. Lona, could you please call in our eternally useful allies? See if we can't bait these wargs out of our base. It's going to be very, very funny if they land inside my base. Nope. There we go. Anybody here we're sending to an unfortunate death? Not that I can tell. Oh, did they restore the numbers ability to check for idio on enemies? No, it's still gone. Ah, that's very sad. Okay. That doesn't seem to be luring out our friends the wargs. Might kill a few wargs. They'll generally stop being so angry, I think, if we let them go to sleep. No, the disease Scaria puts them into a berserk state. They'll leave the area in 1 or 2 days. You can hide and wait them out or fight them. Well, hopefully my prisoners don't starve to death. They're probably quite hungry already. I could actually build a door here so I can go and see to the people there. But Plo is not in a good space right now. Plo is bleeding badly. I do actually want to go and tend to our beloved prisoners here. The hoppers are set on important. This is also important. If I set it to critical, we'll take from the hoppers and put it there. Or let's hold off on feeding them corn for now. Edit prison food and say no to corn for now. And let's say yes to putting a door here so I can go and deal with these people. We'll have to clamber over some furniture, but at least it'll allow us to go and feed our prisoners. There we go. We smelted that silver hammer into 375 silver. I think it was worth more as a hammer. I think it was worth a lot more as a hammer. Probably shouldn't have smelted it. But it was also quite banged up, wasn't it? Ugh, a lot of people have nothing to do right now. I could do some research just to give us something to do. Meowzilla is crafting these things, but after that there won't be anything for him to do. Is there anything I want to smith? I shouldn't have people doing nothing though. Let's at least get some people doing some research. Boomer's making the drugs. Actually, making drugs is a good pastime. I wouldn't want to tear Boomer away from that. There's not a whole lot for people to do here. What kind of hat does John want? Because he keeps going on about how he wants his specific apparel. Coronet. Any prestige armor or Psycaster apparel. I was hoping a cape would be enough. Maybe an Eltex robe would be alright for him, and we do now have one, don't we? Ah, well, it's over here. Maybe an Eltex vest? They'll satisfy a count or a countess, and they'll cover the middle layer. I'll look into that, but I'll consider it more once these wargs are gone. Oh god, they brought fire. I hope that rain stays until the fire bomber dies. Yeah, look at them go. Going into melee with wargs, the fools. Oh god, no, I forgot the allies can open my doors. Well, hopefully they die before they do that. Calling in allies not seeming like such a good idea anymore. Okay, thankfully all the fire is out in the open where it's raining. There goes the idea to starve them out. It's okay, we're fine. And hopefully they'll chase these guys if they manage to get away fast enough. Come on, get out of here, you warg bastards. And stop burning my conduits. Oh no, it just spread. It just spread to... Okay, now that's still out in the open. It's not under a roof yet. Oh, perfect. You guys are heroes. Sophia, keep running. Get them all out of here. This is the big plan. And rain, don't you dare stop flowing. Yeah, I lured a bunch of them outside, but not enough, and they will easily double back, and they have a lot of corpses to eat. Don't really have anything I can make a bed out of unless we use slate. I guess it's going to be sleeping on the floor for everybody, which they won't like. Ah, but there are seats for them to enjoy. Right, John, well, in the absence of much for you to do, how about making us a slate sculpture to pass the time? Stone blocks, forget the marble, just make it out of slate. And, not a lot for Lona and Nyx. Yeah, well, okay. I can get some research done while we wait. Tough. Hold on, did we create this door yet? No, because it needs wood, and of course there's no wood here. I would have to make a slate door. I don't like the fact that they can enter here. There's also no medicine for our poor plague sufferers. Thankfully they'd already been taken care of. Alright, slate door it is then. Yeah, that is slate now. And how much slate do we have here? Enough for the door and the statue. Ah, that needs to become part of temp. Worst thing that my prisoners could do is attempt an escape, because I'd invite all the wargs over here as well. Oh, what the hell? Oh no, I added that to temp, so they're going to go out and around. Oh, ho, ho, no. Oh, no. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I keep forgetting that they like to go outside in that. It's not good. Shame Nyx has to die, isn't it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. How many wargs are we talking about around here? Quite a lot of them. I'd have to just take the pitched fight now. Dang, dang, dang. That was a mistake and a half. Yeah, I can't get these guys out of here. Even these 4 wargs are enough to make Nyx and Health have a very, very bad time. Nyx could psychically shock this one to get inside and save his sorry skin. Actually, it'd be better if you did it whilst Nyx just tries to get back. Meanwhile, Lona, where you at? It's time for the animals to help out. We need them. This is going to be very unfortunate. Our animals are going to get ripped apart here. The elephants and thrombos into the corridor. Numbers game is now in your favor. That is true. I won't have them on attack then. I can just have them on come close to Lona. Are they trying to get in here now? They are. They're going to try and break in. Oof. And that's going to be very, very unfortunate for us. John could take the front line, whilst Muzilla shoots behind them, but John could easily get torn up and die in that exchange. Well, Lona could help out whilst the animals come along. Who else do we have here? Well, Orlov is just cowering over there, which makes sense. Then that's health to worry about. Health is going to knock them out. Nyx is going to hopefully get away without dying. There we go, good enough. Right, Health, get back inside. Both of you get inside. This might just be enough. This door is toast, but the animals aren't on release. I know, I just want them over here, not on release. Because if they release, they might go up and out here and take an unfortunate pitched fight. You guys can get inside nice and fast. Uh-oh. I wonder if I could still very quickly build this thing. Could Meowzilla come over and swiftly build a wall here to keep us all safe? And I mean very swiftly build that wall. Wall raise would probably take a bit of time. Actually, you might... How long does it take me to wall raise here? Casting time of 1 second. Get over there, John, and raise me a swift wall, will you? Oh god, they're coming in here. That's Nyx getting nibbled. A couple of scratches. We worry more about health, though. Shock that thing. Get both of you inside here right now. Hey, John, could you raise us another wall here? Of course he can't. He can't see anything. Right, go and fight those between yourselves. Health, Nyx, get inside. Lona, get over here. Try to build a wee wall if we can. Hey Meow, do you think you could build that wall with incredible speed before that door goes down? Okay, oh god, Igor's trying to get next to the master because they're on follow there, aren't we? Right, enough of that. Health, enough of this. Health, just go and lie down for a bit. Same for poor Nixie. Meowzilla will get that wall up, and that door desperately needs to be repaired. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is not what I had in mind. Get away, Igor. No, don't melee attack the warg. Go! Uh-oh. We have to hope that this warg goes down before it gets involved with Igor. Although the animals are out there, I could have the animals go and attack to try and clean the area out a bit. But otherwise the animals are going to come in here, and that's a bad thing. There we go. Let's just keep this nice and safe, shall we? Now Voomer will go and tend to these people. I don't like that fire there. Oh right, the warg got set on fire thanks to the psychic shock lance, and unfortunately it's under a roof, so that fire isn't going to go out. Someone's going to have to get out there and deal with it. Jeez. At least Igor should be kept good by all these animals that are going on the rampage for us. There we go, the numbers are in our favor here in this corridor. And the other wargs are... Actually, are there not many wargs left? No, there's still quite a lot of them, but they're scattered about. As they come here, they'll get trampled to a horrible death. And I shouldn't need this wall anymore, this door anymore. So cancel that. Okay, I can have this deconstructed now. It served its purpose. Actually, it didn't really do anything, but that's okay. That's fine by me. I just need this taken care of. Lona, go here please. Beat that fire out so we don't have to worry about it. How's Igor doing? Oh, Igor is our real champ. He's doing just fine. Meanwhile, we're alright. We will survive. Hell, I might even save some of these poor bastards that came here to help me. Okay. John, Lona, check things out from the front. Meowzilla, back them up. Voomer, continue tending to... Are these guys tended to? They are, and surprisingly well, given that it was done with bare hands on the floor. Ah, no, I told my medics to carry medicine on them. Haha, I'm glad that came to help out here. Alright, quit resting on the job, there's work to be done. Health, you're still good with a gun. I'll get you out here to help out. Voomer as well. Uh-oh. Oh man, they went right past us there, didn't they? Lona immediately getting stuck in there. A couple of bruises is no big deal. And she slices up that warg. Monosword just has a way with everything, really. There we go. Good. Uh-oh. Fear Lona might be taking a bit more damage than I was hoping for there. Might have been a little premature to be stepping out here. But I wanted the people to take part in this fight as well. Uh-oh. Well, maybe not. John's right there where all the wargs are coming in. Might be more beneficial to step back a bit. Nyx is hauling Flake for some reason. Good, as long as Lona's up and those animals are taking care of it, we're good. Get everybody else checked out. Now, how many more of these wargs are still on the prowl? A couple of injured ones and one fresh one. And they won't last. Not with Lona's animals on the prowl. Hopefully everyone's getting tended to. No, John is deciding to go and psi focus over there, right. If you need bed rest, go and get your bed rest. That's doctoring. There's a way to do this. There we go. Can watch that get stomped down in real time. Yeah, Randy had his coffee. That was a lot of wargs to bring in. A scary number of wargs. However, we handled the situation poorly, but we handled it. There's one warg that is disturbingly alive, and this warg that was knocked psychically unconscious. That psychically unconscious one needs to be killed. Alright. Lona, if you could please be the one to destroy that psychically damaged one. Just make sure we're getting the exact right ones here. This is one of them. It might be a little burned, but it will get back up. So Lona, please melee any warg you see there to death. And where's the other one? You. Melee that one to death as well. And then everyone can rest up, including the animals. Sensory Mechanites, Meowzilla nicks health. Ugh. This isn't ideal. Put it out of its misery, Lona. There we go. At least those Mechanites help out with, well, a number of things. Poor animals, though. Hopefully the animals didn't get too banged up. Well, not to the point where it should be a problem. You're gonna tend to the animals instead of our poor people? Tend to health and tend to nicks. And then people can get back up and actually work. The allies dead or alive? Well, some of them are quite injured. But some will survive. Well, Mayor will survive. Oh. Mayor might be the only survivor. I'm not going up to rescue Sophia. But I'll save Mayor. Burned by their own mollies. Well, this is going to be a lot of work for Orlov to do when they eventually get around to cleaning. Now, I can't have people doing bed rest like this, so I need them to get up. Oh dear, the warg gnawed Lona, biting her nose clean off. It's probably not a good trade for Lona, but I'm sure we'll find an aesthetic nose for her down the line. Meanwhile, let's tend to all these poor animals. And someone should rescue Mayor. I know you like to clean there, but go and rescue poor Mayor. It's not the best look for me, says Lona. I bet you just said it was the warg. You're probably caught picking your nose one too many times and you drilled it clean off. People giving wargs the bad rap. Don't like this. Keeping this door jammed here. Ah, look at that. Sora's fully healed already. None of the animals are down and out, so once they're all treated... Okay, Mayor is infected now. It's alright, they'll do fine inside here, as long as I clean the place up. Ooh, okay, so two big mistakes there. Cost us a few injuries, but I don't think anything was really lost in it. Apart from Lona's nose. No, you already had that cut off. You already had that scar. And that scar. Okay, Meowzilla used to have a thumb. Do I have a spare arm for him? I'll try and find him one, because losing a thumb is pretty bad for manipulation. And he's going to need that for, yeah, he's going to need that for all the manipulating he does. One nose and one thumb, not the worst things to lose, but losing anything's a pain. Simple meal is rotted away. Ah, it's warm in there now because this door is open. Orlov, could you please haul those psychoid leaves? They're causing this thing to... Oh, and you're a problem as well. For some reason you are cleaning instead of finishing your haul job there. Well, drop that stuff there for now and haul that body. No empty accessible spot for it. I thought this place took corpses. Well, it does now. His door's been stuck open and made this place warm up and spoilt my meals, which were already spoiling quite badly. Phew. Yeah. It's a shame about the thumb, but I'm certain we can replace it. It's just now there's a lot of cleaning to be done. I'd like to get rid of all this roofing though, it's making all this dark and it's going to make it harder to clean. So I will make every effort to remove this roof area. And I'll only want it back when we get toxic fallout. It also means if there's a dead corpse here, it takes forever in the day to wither away. Right middle toe horribly burned by Molotov cocktails. Bleeding mechanites. Okay, so lots of problems there, but problems that can and will be dealt with. Meowzilla having an interesting approach to removing these roofs. It's a shame you build roofs 9 at a time, but you remove them 1 at a time. I'm not even sure if it helps with construction skill. They're not dogs, they're only wolf-sized. Are there any alive ones that I can investigate? That doesn't look like it. Some of these animals still need treatment. Boomer? Oh, Boomer's just enjoying a game of Hoopstone instead. Clean the hospital, prevent more infections. Well, not many people are even using the hospital right now. And it's only very dirty. They'll be fine. At some point, I am going to want some doors replaced out here. It's still a good call to make plasteel doors out there, but that's a lot of plasteel to spend. What I could do, actually, is only have one door here. And then replace the ones that we do have here with plasteel. Structure, door, plasteel door, you, and you. Nobody ever uses these doors, surely, but I could do plasteel door there and there, and replace these other doors just with wall. It's expensive on the plasteel, but probably better than having a repeat of what just happened there. Quite a lot of our animals need treatment still. It's not big horrible bleed. Actually, it's big horrible bleeds for Linus here. Fumark, would you mind tending to Linus instead of not tending to Linus? I think I'm asking the world here. Notices John's upset mood for no reason. Maybe you should murder a man to feel better. It's kind of the plan. Theodosia's going on a rampage, but Theodosia is horribly ill-equipped to do anything right now. Oh, they're knocking out people that can't really fight back. I'm sure somebody's going to knock out that frail old man. There we go. Their rampage has been brought to an end. Why is there a fire? Oh, it's a dry thunderstorm. Right, that's pretty bad. It's also pretty bad that Boomer's taking care of it alone. Could be worse though. This is the... Oh, okay. I was about to say, this is the worst place to get a fire, and we're getting it there. Alright, seems that Randy doesn't want to pull his punches today. Boomer's got this one down, Pat. No need for you to go up there. Just when we had all that rain. Oh, don't you worry, those prisoners will be paying. Middle toe destroyed in that fight. Orlov, it's not too much. Would you mind capturing our folks here? Devil Strand is hardy enough, it can handle a bit of fire. Damn these sensory mechanites. It's yet another huge expenditure of medicine to keep our people going. At least there'll be plenty of butchery for John to do, but that won't be enough to keep him happy. John wants more. Feeling that lightning, but I don't want more fire around here. That was a lot of wargs to deal with. Okay, next, if you don't mind smacking Kale, who's going to beat you up now. Yeah, that'll take care of you. Such angry people. I worry about this. Meowzilla, are you really removing these roofs in the most reasonable fashion? Orlov's got a ton of cleaning to do. Hauling might be better at this point, but I don't know. Alright, Boomer, it hasn't been a restful night's sleep, but you still have to get up and get things done. And do our animals still need treatment? Spangler does. I know you're hungry, but please tend to Spangler first, so I don't need to worry about any more animals getting treatment. 30 odd wargs, though. Ooh. And it would have been fine, would have been absolutely fine. They would have had no reason to go through these doors if that one baby elephant hadn't been allowed in. The baby elephant still died, and we are of course unhappy about its death. Venerated elephant calf died, -5. Meow is smart Jake, he removes the rims, so the rest falls down, saving him a lot of work. Falling roofs can easily kill people. They go for the head and neck, which are very delicate places on people's bodies. Alright, let's not allow the indoor animals to go in those beds, otherwise I have to feed them. Oh, Mom's got so much cleaning to do, poor Orlov. Maybe you should focus on cleaning the important places for now. And maybe I should remove this from the cleaning zone, because it's just going to be so much work otherwise. It's a shame though, I like keeping all this place clean, but I have to respect our lack of labour right now. Can you name this episode Cute Baby Elephants for YouTube? No, I think I'll get into a bit of trouble if I do that. I was watching more videos of cute baby elephants for last night, can't lie. Wait, why am I treating these people with real medicine? Probably because they're going to be my gladiators. Oh, probably because they're set to be my allies? No, none of that makes sense to me. Well, whatever the case, I'm going to leave them with this corn and have them feed themselves. And this is where I assign prison food to include corn, and then hopefully I don't need to feed them. The ones that are lying in bed, though, they'll still need to be fed, but the likes of Theodosia can just go and get his corn. Cute baby elephant almost destroyed the colony, but let's face it, that was all on me. Pretty badly on me. What can we do to make John a bit happier? Because he's getting very unhappy right now. Oh, he got sick with the mechanites, did he? No, he's got the plague, and he's getting better from the plague. Although it's still causing him a lot of pain. When that goes away, he'll be fine, but before then I should probably... He might well break. He's been quite unhappy for quite a while. The comfort will be good for him. As he's working here, that seat's going to give him sublime amounts of comfort. He'll enjoy his work. I think he'll actually do fine. There we go. Get that comfort. I didn't give you a lovely good cloth armchair for nothing. Gives a lot of comfort, but not maximum comfort. Give him the L-Tex vest. I'll give him a few things once things calm down a bit. I'll forbid all the rotten corpses, but the ones that aren't rotten will get carved up. People are going to be unhappy that I butcher people, but John won't. John will be fine. Also, Nyx is about to pop as well. Didn't I get a psychic soothe pulsar? Maybe I just thought I did. Would certainly be helpful for such situations. Soothe. I do have Psychic Soothe Pulsar. Really? It's here? Oh, there it is. This could be a good time for it, because a lot of people are getting cheesed off. Lona, once you are done touching Sabs, please go and activate that Psycho Soothe Pulsar so we can all calm down a bit. Oh, nice, you trained Sabs in attack. Not fully, but good enough. There we go, and haul that corn for us. Maybe narrow the north end of the corridor to a 3-space gap so wall rays can cast to protect the base. Well, it might be more sane just to put a wall here with a door. That way I can keep the base very internal if that happens again. But the risk appeals, so let's keep it open. And there we go. Suddenly John's going to be out of the danger zone because he has this strange feeling. And then once all that's faded away, I'll bring everybody's spirits up with a good gladiatorial fight. When's the last time we had an execution? Oh, too long ago. We'll have an execution this evening. That'll surely cheer everybody up. Public execution of one of them. I mean, there's a chance it'll be awkward because I don't have an ideogram, but we'll get to it. A load of filth. We need to execute Theodosia. The soldiers can fight. That makes actually a lot of sense. We'll execute the head honcho for everything he did against us. and then the soldiers can fight in a little tournament of ours. There we go, Orlov even knows to clean this up. This is why I wanted it de-roofed. This rain can now clean away all the filth here. Rain isn't common here, but I'm glad to see we're getting some of it. Bio-coated pump shotgun, what a bizarre thing. In fact, once all this is cleaned up, Orlov, I want you to be getting on the hauling duty, because there's hauling to be done. Good to see John doing his work seriously, though. I don't like that you get all this tainted gear just surrounding here. That's what I get for not stripping my people before I get them. But what I can do is just make a little zone here. I've been making the zone and destroying the zone periodically, but zone here, and all it does is it takes apparel, all apparel which is not clean, aka tainted. And then when somebody, like Orlov, gets around to hauling this stuff, they just wick it all up and put it all over here. The downside is that I keep getting notified when they rot. I need to find a way to disable that. I don't care if tainted clothes rot away. In fact, I want it. Okay, all the animals are pretty much healed. So it's fine to let them go back to bed. Although John's got that weird feeling, he's still in a bit of a huff. Oh yeah, it's pretty ugly around here, given what he's been doing all this time. Maybe he can get around to that art project I wanted him to do. I'm not even sure he started it. Let's actually get rid of that. John will be happier killing somebody, I'm sure. You have Molotovs, you just burn them once they're collected up. I could, but that's more effort than just leaving them to rot away. More man hours, more jiggery pokery to stop people from dealing with the fire. It's a lot of effort. I'm gonna tell John to have a beer. He's ready to pop. Go and drink a beer, man. How about Nyx? Nyx seems like somebody who'd far prefer a smoke. So you go and where are the actual smokes, not the flake. Smoke a smoke leaf joint there. Don't want these people popping off on me. Also consider making a tunnel between the rec room and the jail for such emergencies, or just make the door. If I make the door, the prisoners are going to have twice the likelihood of escaping because they think of multiple doors. I mean, this was one bad thing that happened because of a mistake I made. I'll be sure not to make the mistake in the future. I'll double down on the defenses here, and then it won't happen again. It's that simple. I also really don't like this setup here. I'm going to deconstruct all of these and build a proper wall here so it's all nice and straight. How you feel now, John? Oh, a whole lot better after that drink, I'm sure. And next, how about that smoke? I'm like stoned, man. Very good. There, horrible situation dealt with, no problems. Orlov continues to fetch bodies for us, thank you. I want to check my home zone right now. We no longer have automatic home zones being created when we build things. And I don't generally want home zone outside of here, because it means we go and fetch things. I believe home zone changes when things become automatically disallowed, although maybe I'm wrong about that, because that's disallowed and that was just recently dropped. I guess I don't know anything then. Orlov, great job in the cleaning. Get back to hauling for us, starting with this massive amount of tainted stuff. There'll be a lot of kibble for John to make as well. How's Orlov feeling about being a slave? Zero desire to leave, they're completely suppressed. Excellent. I wonder if hosting an execution fills people's needs for recreation. I'll keep an eye on that, actually. Let's consider that after the execution. Illustrajon will execute Theodosio. Is Theodosio the big cheese? Theodosia. Theodosio's their big chiefs. For some reason they don't show up as having a rank, though. I would have figured they'd be pretty high rank since they were the one to come and give us the rank, but still. Theodosia, you've got to die. Arise, everybody, arise. Give John the robes he rightfully plundered. It's good karma. I think he'll wear them after Theodosia has died. Commemorate the passing. What's he currently wearing, anyway? Oh man, Meowzilla decided to wander away instead of enjoying the execution. Oh well, that's fine. As long as they're not going to die of hunger, they'll be okay. Illustrajon talked about life and death. It's like that speech in Bully. Slaughters them, mercifully apparently, and it was satisfying. Excellent. And just like that, John is going to feel a whole lot better. I killed someone. I executed someone. Good. That should sort him out a lot. Good thing he had his persona weapon. Otherwise things would have gone even worse. Now, about those clothes. I'm unsure about this. So that is skin layer. Where's the vest at? Or was I just looking at the vest? Here's the Eltex vest. The vest is the middle layer. So if he wore the vest and the formal shirt... I don't want him to wear the prestige robe. He's more of a cape guy. But does the cape keep him satisfied up to that level? Cape is good up to Count and Countess level, so I'd rather he wore that. He could also wear the cloth hood. That doesn't seem to satisfy up to a level, though. Does give you good social impact, though. Alright, we'll go and wear that formal shirt. And... What else is there? Oh yeah, well there's middle, but that's only the flak vest, I believe. I could give him the cloth hood. Nah, the cloth hood's probably not enough. I need to check what he actually wants to wear, because this keeps passing me by. What am I looking for? Bio, Baron, but not Baron, check Count, because that's what we're going to be at. Apparel requirements are a formal shirt, which he'll now have, the cape, which is fine. Cape or robe, that's fine. On his head, he needs either a coronet, armor, or Psycaster apparel. Maybe this counts as Psycaster apparel? Doesn't look like it. We'll see how he feels with this thing on. Because this Baron-specific apparel is becoming a bit of a problem. Yeah, he needs something fancy on his head. Try out the cap there. It's not good enough and he looks like a freak. Put your elephant leather authority cap back. Oh, it's just about busted. I guess he deserves a nice coronet then. And I have not researched how to make that, have I? Royal apparel. He's going to want a crown. Oh well, research will have to be done. What's wrong with my eye, says Lona. I don't think that's your eye, that's just your misplaced nose there. Oh no, that's your shoulder actually. Your shoulder got scratched. Otherwise you're fine. I like the authority cap. I wonder if he's going to go, I want my authority cap now. No, you rebuffed Voomer? What the hell? I thought you liked Voomer. Look, you're there with Voomer right now. Oh, you don't have the Psycast to do it. Curses. Okay, we'll research how to make John a proper crown and give it to him. It won't offer a lot of protection, but he will want it. Okay, despite how grim that all went, we bounced back. Almost everybody's fine. The elephants are fine. There's a lot of junk here, but Orlov will be on dealing with that once they rest up. And Mayor is immune to that infection. Well, that took no time at all. Soon, though, we're going to start having these people fight to the death once they're healed up. Now, since you've had your eye torn out, you're going to be seated there, Mavronis. The others are going to have to fight out. Sadly, now John will be trapped, unable to satisfy both dress requirements. Really? Well, right now, at least I think the royal desires override those of your religion. I think. Could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. Still, we should swiftly research what he needs to do that, and then we'll get him that crown of his... Oh my goodness, the psychoid leaves have been dying out there. I guess part of the problem is I don't have many places to put them, because we're not making drugs fast enough. Maybe I've actually grown too many psychoid leaves, if such a thing is possible. But what else would I grow here? I could not grow stuff for a while. I could grow smokes instead. Nah, psychoid is the future. Just have more places for it. Does this place allow for psychoid? It does now. Perhaps I just need more cloth hampers for them. Heavens knows I have the cloth. It's storage space. I always feel tight on storage space. You have as much space as you give yourself, and I'm just not giving myself enough. There we go, emergency storage space. I'll keep it on low, so it's more of an overflow. Which means you should be on low. Alright, work to be done. Get up, everybody. Be productive. And then be more productive. Actually, Meowzil is the one I really want up and building those things. Oh, I don't want to interrupt your lovin'. Orlov doesn't seem to be entirely consensual in this, but they are a slave. Alright, Meowzilla. Oh, he wants to build the granite wall. Actually, build these first, please. Put some of that cloth to use as well. Heavens knows I have too much cloth. Now I can copy that setting, copy that setting, paste it here, but put it on low, I suppose. Maybe normal. Meowzilla really wants to work on that wall, though. Good way to use up all the steel as well. I'm surprised I managed to build up as much steel as I have. Orlov, for the love of God, these psychoid leaves are going to go off if you don't deal with them. It's nice to see people be so productive, and since we don't have so many people, it feels all the better in my opinion. I think they're all good now. Just a couple more to be made. And Meowzilla knows to get right, although he's going back to sleep. Am I out of cloth? No, I got cloth over here, it's fine. I did tear through my cloth though, I might have to consider growing a bit more of it. Just a little bit though. I always end up with too much cloth too quickly. Ooh, yeah, I've played Amazing Cultivation Simulator, it's pretty terrible. Yeah, at the very least it doesn't appeal to me. No, I'm not considering more recruits. I like to keep myself at 7 population. I know it's a lot weaker that way, but I really like being able to bond with my colonists this way. If you have too many people, I find I stop caring about them. Trade ship, now that is useful. John, if you could kindly go and talk to them. You'll have extra social impact thanks to your hat, so your trade price improvement should be pretty good. Trade price improvement 21.8 on old John. And a party! Health has decided that we're all getting a bit too stressed out now and we need a party. Well, actually, we've all improved our mood thanks to killing, but that's okay. I'm not selling off Igor. Don't care what they offer me for him. Not selling off my thrumbos either. I can't believe I got 6 of them. Happy days for us. I have a lot of corn. You might even say I have too much corn. Please take some of it. And they have a lot of money to give me, so I should be taking advantage of that. I always want Nutramain. I should be making chem fuel out of my corn. It's just that takes labor time. I don't make use of elephant leather that much, so away that goes. Same with wolf skin. Same with rhinoceros leather. Away it goes. And that sheep wool is just taking up space. It would be nice to buy medicine straight up. It's quite tempting to, actually. Saves me a lot of time in making it, time and effort. So I will. He will buy my flake, that's good. He has a good chunk of luciferium. It's tempting to hook somebody on Lucy, because it makes them so damn good. Might be nice, actually, to start John on a path of decadence where John becomes a Lucy addict. He is our top dog, after all. And what's the point in being the top if you can't indulge in a bit of drugs? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. I always want steel. Even though I have tons of steel, I kind of want more of it. Uranium. You never have enough uranium. It's expensive, but... God, that's very expensive. I might take it anyway, though. What else do you have for me? Wood. I can always raid more wood from lumber sites. Much as I like to have more of it. Otherwise, I'll sell off the rubbish clothes that I have. Got way too many clothes, so I don't have a problem with selling these off, and it's not too much effort to make more. Although, I'm a little low on birds with which to do it. That's okay, though. Just get rid of most of them. Basically, anything that's worn. Oh, that vest. Gonna get rid of that. Unless... Oh, vest is a middle layer. I had no idea. Maybe I even read that and went wow, but I've promptly forgot about it since. So John can wear the vest. Excellent. I need to keep that in mind, because that's better than putting on flak jackets. It doesn't offer a lot of armor or a lot of insulation, but it's going to help him with heat recovery. And slave suppression, that's quite nice as well. Alright, John's going to wear that vest. Otherwise, goodbye bowler hats. Goodbye that crummy veil. Got more bowler hats. He'll buy the armor. He will buy that armor. I can finally monetize that armor that I've had. And that's a decent chunk to get for it. Good, good. The question is what I get for all of that. I can also get rid of this robe. But other people would buy the robe. Well, I can take his gold. Seems strange to sell golden armor for gold, but I'll do it. You did read it out loud even. That sounds like something I would do. Wouldn't Luciferium kill the addict if people get stuck in the rec room again? I'll tell him to carry 5 units of Lucy on him at all times. It does put us on a timer though, means we have to get Lucy periodically. But 20 if it's going to last 100 days, I'm sure it'll be fine. Plasteel is nice to have. Get myself plenty of plasteel. I can even get myself plenty of steel. Always need more steel. Or do we? I have a lot of steel. Yeah, I'll keep it anyway. Okay, what am I taking back then? Or what am I getting for all this golden armor? I can keep the corn. Corn isn't going anywhere. Just like that. I'll tell you what, I'll buy the chem fuel and I'll exchange it for corn. That way I'm exchanging labor for money in a way. Not even a lot of not even having to give up much money. And I get to save the labor. This is a great deal for me. Perhaps even one of the best deals. Yeah, amazing. Kind of tempted to buy a few beers. They're not that expensive, and it's just good to have a few extra beers on hand for if somebody really starts popping off. But I think I have some beers, so forget about it. Where are they? Ah, here we go. All the goodies. There we go. John is going to be faster, harder, and more aggressive when he's on that Luciferium. Which is a bit of a shame, because John is kind of transcended doing a lot of our menial work. If somebody like Health were on it, he'd be just taking care of all these plants like nobody's business. But John is into combat, and if John goes into combat and he's on Lucy, he's going to be able to dodge a lot better, hit a lot harder. I believe in John having Lucy. Just getting a good price for that armor is going to be a spike on the wealth graph. Might actually be a reduction in it, because it's going to consider me having gotten rid of that wealthy armor, but... Holy crivens, how did we go so high up in wealth here? Maybe it's our prisoners worth a lot, or what we took off of them? That's right, we took their guns and stuff. I need to make these people start killing each other so I can get rid of them and regain my alliance with the... You know what I'm trying to say. Someone knows what I'm trying to say. Regain my alliance with the Imperiums. Get back to making marble ones, please. Alright, nice party. I don't think John cares much for it. The party has been called off. Why? Strange. Okay, John, whilst you're over here in general, could you go and put on that Eltex vest, which I couldn't find? Where is it? That's a robe. That's the vest. Okay, but I still want a better hat for you. We're researching how to get you a proper crown, John. And where are those drugs at? Turns out I already had a bit of Luciferium. Go and... Where's Lucy? Let's just pop you out for a little bit. John, go and take Luciferium. And we need to set up a drugs policy for John. Manage drug policy. 1 drink per day? Madness. We'll just call it John. Let's see, this is according to addiction. So take your Lucy, always carry as much Lucy on you as you can. Well, it's very light, but 5 on it, so if you go down and say it burns out, we don't lose too much of it. I also want you to carry some go juice, just in case things get hairy. And things could get very hairy. Otherwise, you should be fine. Schedule, yes, you should take Lucy every... Actually, if it's there to feed addictions, you should be able to automatically take it. Use this drug to feed already established addiction needs. Hopefully that does it, and I don't have to tell you to automatically take it. Jake, do you play without kill boxes? Yeah, I hate kill boxes. The one thing kill boxes kill are the fun of the game. There we go. John has gotten his addiction for Lucy now. He didn't pick it up and take it to on his person, though. All that Lucy, and then maybe he'll actually take it with. Are you not putting it in here? This place does take Lucy, right? Yeah. Oh, he's just hauling other things because I told him to generally haul. That's okay, though. John is becoming more and more than human. So Luciferian's pretty great. He'll feel less pain. He'll be more conscious. Moves faster, sees better, blood flows better. He doesn't even need to eat so much. His metabolism's up there. Well, I think that reduces the amount you need to eat. Store Lucy somewhere everyone else is forbidden to go. Nobody's going to binge on Lucy. It's a lot of flake. Maybe I need a better place to store all my flake. He still wants that crown. Please figure out how to make that crown for him. I'm sure we had a coronet somewhere. I probably sold it though. Yeah, almost certainly. Maybe somebody else should carry an emergency dose of Silu just in case. I only have enough to comfortably keep one person on Lucy right now. And that someone's gonna be John. Well, it is John. He's already on it. I hate that stupid head thing he has on though. Looking forward to getting a proper crown. The decadence of John here. This is also dark. I should definitely not have a roof area here. It'll still be dark at night time, but most people sleep during the night. This is definitely too much psychoid for one man. I don't make drugs that fast. But what do I make instead? Or what do I plant instead, rather? I guess I'll just plant nothing for now. There's no need to sow, no need to put all that work in. Everybody's too busy. I must admit, my naked blind run that I'm doing while watching this isn't going that well, says Cronium. Blind as in you've not played before? Because that's going to be grim for you. Right, forget the party. The bulk goods trader we already had. But do we have the other guy here? Exotic goods trader, now that I'm interested in. John, get to it. Shooting frenzy for Meowzilla, that's good because he uses a gun. Psychic suppression wave will drown the consciousness of all of us for 4.1 days. Hate psychic suppression, so no thank you. All males? Well, we're mostly males, so definitely not. Minus 50% consciousness is way too much to handle. Right, looks like I don't have any baby elephants to be sending out to you. Oh, I've got a new Thumbo calf. Probably needs a name. Good time to get rid of that insect jelly. Good time to get rid of that flake as well. What can I get for it though? Specialized limbs, flesh shaping. Ah, they don't have neuroformers for us. Crafting would be pretty good to give to Meowzilla. He'd be able to make some really good stuff. Malay for John. Social for John. Hold on, I can do the trick again, can't I? Trade improvement is 22% right now. Give me that Malay thing, please. Yeah, not Malay. What am I thinking? I want the social one. And John is going to go and chew that immediately. And then you're going to go and talk to the exotic goods trader again, but you're going to be more suave about it. He went up to level 15 in social, which is rather nice. The warg corpses are just going to rot out where they are. It's not worth the time to deal with them. There we go. We just got another 5% discount on everything we do, and a 5% increase in things that we sell. So John is becoming a real smooth operator. Handy for me. I want that Psychic Soothe Pulsar back. Got me out of a sticky situation there. Otherwise, take the crafting, take the Malay, sell them... I got a spare field hand, so you can take that off of me. Ooh, bionics. Ah, I do have a leg. I wanted a bionic arm to make up for that dead thumb, but I will take a spare bionic eye if you don't mind. Yes, take it. I can sell off a Couple of my tusks. Well, like, I want to keep 2 of them on me for fighting. Horns are not any good for me, so it's better just to monetize them. Psychic Shock Lance, yes please. Psychic Santa Lance, double yes please, and give me all your gold. Get rid of this jump pack that's weighing me down. And terror sculptures, that's pretty cool. Okay, anything to sell for all these nice things that I'm getting? Getting rid of all my drugs, obviously, but otherwise... it costs a bit of my silver, but that's a good trade. Same for the spine. I already own the spine. It's asking if I can give them the spine. And I won't give them the spine. Excellent trade. Now, I still have all this flake. I could still sell it to them. The problem is I don't have that flake next to a trade beacon. Actually, I'm wondering which trade beacon picked up on all this flake. I don't like having my drugs lying around here, though. I should almost certainly reinstall this over here so it's next to that beacon. Even putting it there, for example. I wouldn't mind doing that right now, actually, because then I can sell the flake and get that silver back. Bionic legs are better to have before they're needed, surely. Yeah, exactly. So if somebody gets a leg torn off, I want to have this bionic leg to put on them. Or if they get a serious number of toes and bits pulled off. Let's haul this over before it degrades from being outside, please. There we go. Mostly want that Lucy taken care of. And now please go and sell my flake. And then we're going to make John better at melee. I'm going to make Lona better at melee as well. Get her up to 10. Where's Lona at? Sleeping, sure. Everyone needs sleep. But please go and learn melee. What else did we have? Crafting. Double crafting. Meowzilla could become an absurdly good constructor. Or I could save them for later. I think I'll save them for now. I'll maybe use them when John's going to do some hardcore construction so I can get a lot of legendary stuff out of him if possible. Now about that flake of mine. Away it goes. I can take all of his bleeding money, or more of his stuff if I want it. Might not be a bad idea to carry a bit more go juice on my own person. Well, not my person, but to have around here for emergencies. That's a bit extreme. Can I get 3 more of them? Can always take his plasteel as well, but I think we're alright in the plasteel for now. Yeah, that'll do. Crafting and construction are different. Oh, you're right, you're right. I don't know why I thought that was crafting. Still, though, I do want Meowzilla to be a lot better at crafting, so I can have him use those now. Learn crafting and learn more crafting. John, learn melee. And Lona's going to learn that other melee. And John's going to shoot right up here. That's what we're talking about. Lona won't learn that much out of it because she's not passionate about it, but I do want her up at level 10 melee. Help her a lot in those fights with that mono sword of hers. She's a brawler, so there's no point giving her a gun. Meanwhile, Meowzilla has really learnt how to make some good stuff with crafting. Excellent. Come on, I always need medicine health, so get planting that heal root for us. It's a lot of silver. I should bring in some other traders to start getting more exotic goods. Anybody nearby to call them in? Health, do you do social? Of course you do. Whilst you're on that, call in both of our allies to get some traders, please. Trade caravan, exotics. Trade caravan, exotics. I have a lot of silver, so I don't have a problem spending silver to do that. I can also gift them stuff. Could even call Shama Kangans. Shaman merchants get some interesting things. But sometimes I waste my time, so forget it. Hunting site nearby is all well and good, but I'm more interested in wood cutting sites for now. Masterwork Rotten, Scaria-infested warg dead. $77 million. Voomer isn't just our main intellect, she's our only intellect. Oh! Oh, God. Meowzilla has forced Orlov into marriage. It's on. We have a marriage spot, don't we? Of course we do. Right next to the gibbet cage, the skull spike. Oh, jeez. Well, at least that crown is going to be a very good quality if Meowzilla is going to be making it with 15 crafting skill. Quick, sell the fiancé, make it a tradition. Oh. Still a bit torn up about that, aren't we? 51 days and they'll forget about it, though. See, you can get over anything. Alright, good. Things settled down a lot after the not being settled down period there. Shame about all that, you know, dead wargs, but it's hard to move them all away without spending a lot of time and effort. Although I can't think of a good and easy way to deal with that. I'll just let them desiccate. So I do wish things desiccated faster, though. Alright, get on it, Voomer. We need to learn how to make an amazing crown for our glorious ruler John here. Or I could just buy a prestige helmet for him. But that's very expensive. Points at health. He could console her about it and offset the mood debuff. That's right, we have something like that. I haven't tried it, so I wish to give it a go. Let's see how this works. Voomer, slow down, please. Consoling Voomer. Health gave Voomer advice on overcoming negativity, and they chatted about chess. Oh, it completely cancels it. I thought it would just speed it up. I have received counselling about something that's been bothering me for 50. Wow, that's powerful. Right, Igor's probably in trouble because he's been stuck inside there. I can change Igor to go to cower indoors instead of not doing that, and then he's going to race over and eat that kibble. It's not the first time I've starved Igor. Probably won't be the last either. I'm not good at taking care of that. Holding the groin, flexing on people by doing a point stump. Not many people do that. But congrats for showing them how it's done. Alright, all continues to be moderately well. You know, I like that so much that we're gonna call one of our calves McGroin. How are we doing on the whole breeding these things anyway? Looks like we have still not been able to tame this one here, this female. Despite their mangled scars and that, I do want them tamed. Somebody will get on it, I'm sure. Why are you not storing the drugs here? Because for some reason it doesn't take drugs. Copy, paste, paste. I thought I'd be a bit better at making drugs than this, but we don't appear to be making a lot of drugs. I forget what making drugs falls under, actually. Work, is it crafting? Synthesizing drugs. Meowzilla would do that if you weren't tailoring, smithing, or constructing. So what are you doing, Meowzilla? Ah, you're building the wall? What wall? Ah, yes, of course, these walls. That makes sense. And Voomer, of course, researches before much of that, but damn, she's fast. Love to see it. These leaves don't last forever. Could become a bit of a problem. Bye bye warg meat. Lona's working on the cooking. It's not really thankful stuff making kibble. It's labor intensive, and kibble isn't that amazing, but I just want to keep some around so that when we have animals like our dog Igor, we can take good care of them. It's also good to get that human skin. Where is actually most of the human skin these days? It's out here, isn't it? That's fine though. Drug making counts as crafting in the task menu. It's one of those things where I wish I could get the expanded work menu thing, but pick and choose which of them I actually use, because I think that's too extreme in the amount that it gives. What goes here? Oh, that's where I'd normally put healing medicine if I had it. Fuma remains at 19 in intellectual. Some people are bouncing up and down in their plant levels, just because. It falls down a bit, they do the action, it goes up a bit. And this is how slow desiccation is. These scalopedes were here ages ago. I think I can finally deconstruct this. Not doing us any favors anymore. Or butchering is slow when it's done outside. It's nah, forget it. I'd rather my butchery table was more maneuverable, so I can move it to where all the dead bodies are in the future. Holds her fingertips together and shakes her hand. What? Not very nice of you there, Boomer. But I guess if you can't talk, you gotta make do with what you have. Okay, this evening we're gonna have a gladiatorial fight. Mavronis and Ergal are fine. But Mavronis, I said I would cede because they're injured. Kale is largely faking his injuries. So let's do what we do, which is drug up our contestants. How much yayo do I actually have? 16 of it, that'll be plenty, but I want to try them on flake instead. So let's flake you up, and let's flake you up. And then we'll have them in a gladiatorial fight. And Nyx is again unhappy. Hungry, serious. But well, if you're hungry, get up and eat. Can you do a battle royale, Jake? Like 4 prisoners duking it out at the same time? No, it's just 2 on 2. But I plan on making this a bit of a tournament. Anybody gonna drug up my prisoners here? Seems like John's kind of work, but he's busy making that kibble for us. Can't believe it comes down under operating on. There we go. Boomer will give them their drugs and then we'll have our... Wait, operating on? Are you actually doing something else? Oh no, it's just administering flake takes, for some reason, a bit of time. High on flake reduces pain, and that's what they're going to want in this fight. Oh, I should also make sure that there are goods for them to fight with. What kind of weapons will we give them? Has to be melee. Could give them the Eltec staff. There's an awful knife there. A knife and an axe, it seems a bit more traditional. Go and pick that up, and then pick that up. Then we'll have ourselves a little fight. Meanwhile, if you could clean the dirt around here. Make a show of it. Right, rights of supremacy. Wait, who's actually going to be fighting it again? I've forgotten their names. Kale and Ergalanos. Kale and Ergalanos. Not Orlov. Kale and Elgaranos. Good chance it's going to be crap, because I don't have... Oh no, it's nothing to do with the ideogram. We're just hoping that somebody dies and that weapons get used. Alright. Best of luck. 2 lines of flake on a tray. Is flake actually something you do in a line? What's the implication here? A flaky white preparation of psychite that can be smoked. So what would that be in real life? I'm not big on my drugs. Jake, what's your next project? I'm going to expand the prison so I have a better place for holding people. I want to be able to segregate them better. And just have them closer to where I'm likely to kidnap people. I also need to regain my alliance with the Imperials. Other than that, we're working our way towards 350,000 wealth so we can blow this joint. Flake is crystal meth, yayo is cocaine. Is cocaine more expensive than crystal meth? Right, John and Voom are quipping about comedians. Well, how about you quip about falling in love? I've been trying to hook you two up for a while now, and it's just not happening. John spoke about killer weapons and fighting. Meanwhile, we give them an awful knife and a uranium axe. One of these significantly better than the other. Well, I said significantly, maybe not. Maybe the axe is not nearly as powerful as I expected to be, especially one made of uranium. Oh well, give it your all, chaps. Honourable combat. Now hopefully the lack of pain that they're going to feel for this will reduce their likelihood of falling early, because I'm looking for people that die here. Okay, Ergo goes to the crappy weapon, but he actually gets it faster than Kale does. Okay, Kale managed to grab the axe. They're going for... Oh, okay. An immediate hefty shank there with the axe on the leg, the femur, and the foot already. Massive moving problem for Ergel. Just going to go with Ergel. I didn't actually check if either of them were any good at melee. They're both tragically bad. It's a bit of a cripple fight here. But if Kale gets another good swipe with that axe, he'll win. But I'm hoping it's a fight to the death, so go for the neck. They're naked, so they can and will take maximum damage from these. There we go. Going for the neck is something that Kale is doing. Unfortunately, that awful knife is not particularly good at doing it. Meanwhile, John and Luna talking about what they're going to have for breakfast. It is 1 in the morning at least. Can you reduce the speed? Now this is as slow as it goes. Unless... No, this is as slow as it goes. Wait, there's half speed. No, I think that's as good as we get it. How bad does the bright knife need to be to bruise somebody? I think they hit them with the handle. Well, there we go. Kale comes out on top using the axe. It's unfortunate that they didn't kill Ergel. The reason Ergel went down so fast, I believe, is... Hopefully they're not a wimp. Oh, they are a wimp. Oh, jeez. Well, that's a shame. Wimps are never very good at these fights. I know Ergel didn't... No, Ergel just dropped their weapon. That was disappointing, I'll be honest, but Kale still won. So Kale gets to go on through. Yeah, I should have noted that one of them was a wimp. Wimps are no good for this, they go down too easily. Apparently it was good. Somehow. Good enough to make the Fallen Imperium like me a bit more for it. Okay, well, you are just straight up going to be murdered. I'm not even going to euthanize you by the cut. It's just prisoner execution. And Kale gets to live on for now. John wants to rest, but I'm sure he'd rather execute first. There we go. Makes everybody happier, especially John. Yeah, the higher the pain threshold, the more likelihood of death. So having a wimp there was a big mistake. None of the other ones are wimps, though. Not a ritual execution? The thing about rituals is you can't really spam them unless you want them to be awful. And I'm not looking for awful ones right now. I think I'll just leave these here. They're not doing anyone any harm, and they can be used for the next fight. I could also make some more effective weapons at killing. See, these knives and things are... they're not killing well enough. A gladius Oh yeah, Gladius would do some serious damage. How much to make a Gladius? 50 ingredients. Very well. I wish to have 2 Gladiuses. What will we have them made out of? I have enough to make uranium Gladiuses, but I'm not sure uranium's the best one for it. Plasteel, on the other hand, would make them very good. Yeah, let's have a couple of plasteel ones made by Meowzilla, as good as they get. I want people to really kill each other here. I look more like a Sith Lord today than I did yesterday. What happened? You stole the robes from the guy that we abducted yesterday. I don't like your headgear though. I'm going to switch that out for a proper crown, but we're currently researching how to build a crown. Don't worry though, you'll get your crown. Our mayor can get out of here soon, which will be nice. Are they a wimp? They are, and that's how they were able to survive. Ugh, this garbage again. I don't care about those anima trees and Garulen pods and that. I probably would care about the anima tree more if it was easier to use, but you have to be so far away from it with all of your building work. Alright, Meowzilla is getting straight on it. With that 15 level of crafting, there's a good chance this will be... good chance of it being a masterpiece. And the speed at which he makes these is absurd. Would be cool with a Colosseum-style arena / ritual room. It would also be a tremendous waste of space. And I would have to kit it out to look good as well, so unfortunately I'm going to have to continue to do it here inside our workshop. Now, building lovely looking things like that is something I do enjoy doing in RimWorld, but unfortunately with the Arco Nexus ending, we're going to be selling the space. We won't see the space again in 10 hours or so. Which is kind of sad. I am going to miss this space. And Orlov, it's 10 o'clock. Who said you could still be sleeping? Get up, and there's a lot of cleaning work to be done, so get cleaning too. And I think I can rezone the cleaning over here. It's just so filthy that anybody walking up and down here just has their beauty thing completely destroyed. There we go, that'll help. Meowzilla's a beast. Wow. Okay, it's incredibly unlikely that he would make something good, because that means he originally made it normal quality, and it got boosted one by him being the engineer of destruction. Okay, well that's a bit crap. Big ol' waste of plasteel right here. I'll have these put away and keep the Gladiuses out here then. Orlov, could you please pick up that Gladius and go and dump it over here? Dump it. Thank you, good night and much love. All this meat degrading is not a problem. I don't even care about refrigerating it. I do care a little bit about putting those weapons away in this transport pod. Those really nice weapons that I picked up. They're good value, but they're not... Wait, I have a bio-coated charge lance somewhere? That just ain't right. L-Tech staff are worth amazing money, but I think they lose a lot of that value. No, they keep... Oh, no, they lose almost all that value. Bye-bye, L-Tech staff. I don't really like you, so I'm happy enough to get rid of you. Much as I like that uranium axe, it's also worth more if we just send it away. Let's get rid of these crummy knives that are just taking up space at this point. But what I'm most interested in is getting rid of this good charge lance. Even that LMG, heavy SMG, sniper rifle, assault rifles. I swear there were more charge lances than just that, though. Maybe the other one was bio-coded, but I thought we grabbed more than just that. Maybe the Imperials didn't come as well armed as I thought. Still, that'll be something to make the Imperials like us again. Is building that a bad idea, Jake? I've been rewatching your Bad Ideas guy run on YouTube. Bad Ideas guy was years ago. I'm not still going on about, oh, is this a bad idea? Don't like making little memes like that. Feels disingenuous. Not making all these drugs also feels disingenuous. Yazilla needs to be getting on that a lot more than he does. It is really tempting to give him the Circadian Assistant because I don't care so much about his consciousness. I just want him to be producing constantly. Alright, hopefully one of these exotic traders brings a... whatever it's called. That thing that they put in their head to stop them from sleeping. Although they would stop sleeping with Orlov. That's something I'll just have to deal with. That makes a good gift for the Fallen Imperium, but we could make a better gift, I'm sure. Do we have anything else of good value to just send to them so they can deal with the situation? Like dead rats or dead cats. I guess these crummy machine pistols that are lying around still have value. Just get all these guns that are lying around. Normal chain shotguns, heavy SMGs. I'm never going to be using these guns, we already have better guns, and as long as your characters just keep hold of them and don't drop them all the time, they're not exactly going to degrade and become useless. Marine armor, but it's tainted, so what a shame. Could give him back this excellent prestige robe, but that actually keeps its value. It's good to send away guns, because guns lose a lot of value when you sell them, but they keep the value when you gift them in a pod. I could also, yes, send them these bedrolls that I've made, but I like to save the human leather for just in case I need bedrolls to immediately make allies. So what we're doing now we'll do for now. Ooh, nice. Boomer's on a go frenzy. And out pops one more little elephant that we won't train and we'll tell to go outdoors. And I can also get rid of Temp. Bye-bye. Temp served its purpose in almost killing me, and for that I'm grateful. Excellent. Okay, no need to keep doing this, but there is now need to create a crown. A crown needs 75 ingredients. It would need 750 ingredients if we made it out of something even better. John, if you're there, what would you like your crown made of? You can have it made out of anything. Gold, plasteel, silver, steel, or uranium. It's entirely up to you. Some of those are better than others to use for a crown, but because you are the leader here, you get to choose any of these materials. You can't make it out of human skin or elephant bones. Okay, now how much can I get by sending a pod? 111. That's okay. I'm not going to send it until these guys are dealt with. If it isn't gold, it's peasant ware, says John. Alright, gold it is. It's going to cost 750 of our 2,000 gold, which means Lona went on a massive journey to find gold out there, just for you to wear it on your head. Classic John. You know, I am still going to need this this throne room to be a little bit better for the big... Oh, here, there's a bio-coded charge lance. Right, I understand now. Please pick it up, because it's clogging up the space. And just dump that garbage over here. Nobody needs or wants a bio-coded charge lance, because no one can use it. Oh, thank goodness I got my Concord relations back. I forgot all about them. I figured I'd just give them stuff when they arrived. There, once this Gladius is made. Now, how good is a good Gladius? 11 damage. Couple of strikes on that to the head or the neck, and someone's going to die. That's actually more damage, I believe, than your monosword. Slightly lower, but if it was better quality, the plasteel Gladius would be better. The thing about the Gladius, though, is that it doesn't penetrate armor very well. 28% compared to your monosword's 80? Yeah, 83%. You could recruit the prisoners bio-coded too. I'm not recruiting more people. We're at 7. 7 is fine. 8 if the 8th one is a slave isn't terrible. But I'm still not very interested. I really now want to get something to stop Meowzilla from ever sleeping. Orlov will be unhappy, because Orlov is going to stop having somebody to get some loving off of. But that's just too bad for you. I wonder what to do with this deep drill. I could just disassemble it for parts. Oh, that's right, Lona! Lona was going to get psychic powers, and we're going to do that right now. Use that, and use that. Lona has really proven herself in a number of ways, and for that we're going to give her psychic powers. There's not really, unlike John's position within the Imperium, these psychic powers do not come with any offsets or prerequisites. Lona will just have psychic powers, and that's good enough. She's only going to be level 2. We'll have to find more new reformers if we want her to get up a level. John is going to get to level 6 just by the inauguration, which we'll get after these people kill each other. In fact, once this Gladiator is ready, we're going to have more of them try and kill each other. New reformers are quite rare, but they can show up. That is perfect. I want that Berserk Pulse. It's not as good as Berserk for my needs, but Berserk Pulse is good. Tough Skin Gland, Detoxifying Stomach. Tough Skin is always nice. I'd give Lona some Tough Skin just to give her some more survivability. I want pretty much everything they've got here. Solar Pinhole would be good for Lona. Oh, well, good thing I've got a lot of silver. Yes. I don't think I'll buy the Doomsday rocket launcher, though. It's better just to find those, because they're so expensive. Easier just to use a shock lance to shock someone that has one. So, well done, you have double psychic powers, and what you got with it was Blinding Pulse and Burden. Both rubbish, but as you would expect from low-level psychic abilities, it's not that great. Get that covered up here. John's not quite done with his sculpture there, but he will be soon. Once summer is over, I'm going to destroy that cooler thing, or else we're actually going to see snow around here, which is not what I signed up for. Would you mind stripping Devon there? And maybe even hauling all this stuff over to the garbage pile? There she goes. Also, I want to make absolutely sure that only Meowzilla is making that crown. It came out excellent. Right, I want to make sure this place doesn't fail me again, so I'm going to put it down here, right next to the, right next to you, and let's make it symmetrical. So symmetry is beautiful. Now, John, making another large sculpture. There's got to be better things for John to do than make sculptures at this point. I know he loves his art, but he is our grand leader. There must be more he can do. I could tell him to keep his psychic powers higher so that there's more he can do in an emergency. Okay, found some jade out there. It's all up in the Bleeding Mountains. Gold and jade are nice, but now that's a jade pile that wouldn't be too bad to go to, because we can take the road over there. But closer would be better. Well, this isn't going to be a very fair fight. Whoever gets the masterwork Plasteel Gladius is going to be doing a whole lot more damage. Meowzilla, if you could kindly pick it up. Now this definitely does more damage than Lona's Monosword, but again, armor penetration, it's not quite there. It's going to be tough to afford this without shedding all of my silver, but let's see what we can do. More Plasteel is good Plasteel, but that's not the main thing here. Solar Pinhole and Berserk Pulse are a must. Berserk Pulse is level 6. I need to get John leveled up for that. I want the Bionic Stomach. You know, I don't need the Bionic Stomach at all. It's just, you know, bionic parts are good. I care less about Detox Stomach. The Tough Skin Gland I definitely want. Doomsday Rocket Launcher costs a lot of money, so no thanks. I'd rather take the Shock Lance and the gold, of course. That's pretty good, but that's very expensive. You need a bionic stomach to unnix Nix. The idea of removing Nix is tempting, isn't it? Oh, these reinforced barrels. I want one of them, I'll get rid of 2 of them. I'm tempted to take their plasteel, but I don't use enough plasteel to justify that. And I guess I could get rid of some of these packaged meals. But that's as far as I go. I'm willing to spend a lot of money on good stuff, and that's exactly what's happening. And John, just haul that stuff back, please. Oh, right, Meowzilla. There we go. Do drop that Gladius. Yeah, Nyx has 1 talent and it's getting sick. Oh, and would you look at that, he gets sick again! With more plague. God, I can't stand Nyx! Sensory Mechanites and the plague. Eating up all of my delicious medicine with his many problems. Berserk, Pulse, and Solar Pinhole. I want Lona to learn Solar Pinhole. I think it's low level. It is very low level. Excellent. It's extremely good for just day-to-day use. Mostly because if lights go out, then we can actually have some non-electronic lights popping up. There we go. Good job, Lona. I think I will put down a meditation spot for you around here. Meditation spot. Misk. There we go. And this way you can meditate to the very few sculptures that there are. Can you cast Burden on your own pawns, Jake? I believe so. You can cast pretty much all of your stuff on your own pawns. There's that mortar, but I really lack mortar shells for it. And I don't think I have the tech to make more, so I'll have to steal or buy more. Because I'm not interested in making more. How's that thing coming on there? How much work is it to make a crown? Not a lot, I'm sure Meowzilla will get it done in no time. Heck, he is getting it done in no time. Scary how good he is. I really don't want him to sleep ever again. I'd need to start giving him very comfortable chairs to work on so he doesn't snap on me. But he's generally a happy chappy. Alright, there's your crown, John, and it's a good one. I'm actually surprised at how he's making good ones and not better than good ones, but there you have it. I'm also surprised that John makes flake. He probably doesn't make it very well. Wear that crown, John. Excellent. Oddly enough, he still wants, he's still not happy, and I don't know why. He's got the cape. The cape is good all the way up to Count and Countess. The vest is good for Count Countess. The formal shirt is good for Count Countess. The golden crown is good up to Count and Countess. Don't tell me crown isn't good enough. Is coronet better than crown? That can't be right. I don't think there's any specifics on the trousers. I figured anything that was good enough for a count would be good enough for a baron. Perhaps I thought wrong. Let's have a look at count. Still says coronet, but not crown. I am surprised at that. I'm not giving him a gold coronet. He can keep the crown and the mood debuff. Also, that crown is not very protective for him. Covers the head, the ear, and the eye, and offers 0 protection. If he gets a headshot, he's in trouble. Speaking of people who are in trouble, you are going to be in trouble if we don't get you that... Where is it now? Tough skin for you. Doesn't do anything other than slow you down by 5%, but it offers good protection, so there you go. Maybe store the crown next to Igor. Nah, I like the look of John right now. Plus, how much is that crown worth? $8,000 on his head. Not bad, worth more than the gold that we put into it. Wealth is going down a little bit. Ooh, it might even drop below 300k, which is a shame. But that's okay, the constant production of drugs is keeping us happy. Meowzilla's getting on that. John's making us more... I mean, this doesn't seem like John kind of work, but it's hard to find good work for John now. Oh my... Nyx has gotten a third disease. Maybe Nyx shouldn't be the one performing this surgery. Actually, the sensory mechanites make him better at manipulation, so he's perfect for doing the surgery. Still, he's in massive pain. His manipulation is through the roof. Shame he has the plague. I can't wait to get rid of Nyx. Maybe the best day of my life when Nyx dies. And I'm not going to go out of my way to find a resurrector serum for him, or store his cold body in the freezer. He's going to get buried, probably next to the elephant. Get him away from me! Nyx, go and stay in the corner. Oh no, he gets the message. He's even going to go away from Lona. This freaking waste of space. How are we doing on the marble front anyway? Not a lot of it, but enough to make a couple more sculptures. What I'd like to do is make a grand jade sculpture, but we need to go out and find that jade. There's not nearly as much around there as I would like. Perhaps if things are quieting down a bit... Oh no, they're all the drugs I want to make. I've got so many psychoid leaves and I'm not making them into drugs right now, because Meowzilla believes in things like sleep. This is why I want to get the circadian cycler, so he never needs to sleep and he can just make drugs till the end of days. The reason Lona is spoiled for Kez is because Lona, together with John, carried this colony to make it what it is. And they continually are the ones that sacrifice themselves and put themselves in grave danger for the good of the colony. That is why they get rewarded with such lovely things like tough skin gland implants, bionic eyes, coagulators, ears, dual drill arms, and psychic powers. Because it's what they deserve. Rainy thunderstorms not a problem, the rain puts out the fire. Thank God gold isn't flammable. I'm going to constantly be alerted by this, which I do not like, so let's just forbid all of that and clear the zone. Looking forward to getting this chocolate though, it'll be good to go soon enough. Where do I even keep chocolate? I should be keeping it here. Oh, I'm gonna end up with way too much corn. This is absurd. Right, tell you what we need. We need to put these plasteel gladiuses to use. Time for another Rights of Supremacy. It's going to be awful, because we just had one. But I still want it. We need to decide who comes out on top here. Honorius and Mavorius. For having similar names, they're going to fight to the death as well. Honorius, Mavorius, get to it. One of these people will survive in total. Now get to it. Yes, yes, we don't care. It'll be bad. Lona is spoilt for not wanting the Plague Doctor near her. The Plague Doctor would be the one spoiling Nyx, but spoiling Lona, but in a different way. Okay, we're heaping glory on rage and stuff. Ah, good thing it's raining. I don't worry about that. The rain will take good care of it. Lona is vomiting all over this. And watching telly, does that mean you're no longer taking part in this? Maybe vomiting breaks them out of it and stops them from joining it. Right, who grabbed the masterwork here? You grabbed just the plasteel one. Okay, yeah, you got the masterwork. So it's not looking good for Mavronius. But Mavronius is the better fighter. I didn't drug them up this time, but who's got time for that? Oh my goodness, right, Mavronius has managed to hack off Honorius' left arm. Mavronius may well have this one in the bag. I guess those sensory mechanites are helping them out in a huge... Oh, they're just killing the poor guy. Untouchable. This is his gladiator moment. But people aren't going to like it because it was over too soon. There we go. Boring, right? It's a boring fight for the right there. I actually managed to forget who won there. The one that had all the... Yeah, well, the untouched one. You don't deserve any kind of special treatment there. Off that goes. And instead just have them executed. If at health, you feel like executing them? Of course you do. Oh, good job, Mavronis. Well, Mavronis, you get to celebrate by fighting Teosop. See if you can make it a 2-for-1. Teosop is pretty good at melee, but the problem is these people were too eager to not die. How much does Yayo reduce pain? Just as much as Flake, so I'd be as well giving them the cheaper Flake option. Administer Flake. Administer Flake. Can somebody get on that nice and fast? Can the thumb of the severed hand be saved? No. There are mods for getting those specific body parts and doing that, but I'm not interested. There we go. Apply that flake. High on flake doesn't last long. We need to start this right supremacy immediately. And it was Teosop and Mavronis. Get to it. Barges back into the prison, this time with meth pipes. Who's taking Mavronis? Aren't you meant to be taking Mavronis? Meowzilla sure doesn't look like they're attending the rite of supremacy here. Get up! There we go. Oh, bollocks, I just took Orlov off of it and I can't reassign Orlov to that bed. Ah, damn it. Oh well, guess Orlov is never sleeping with Meowzilla again. More fire, but more not my problem. Marriage is on, don't you know? Yeah, might have to get rid of Orlov now for that. Okay, hopefully there's a bit more violence than last time, and not just Mavronis slaughtering the enemy. The enemy here does not have the Mechanites, and in fact, having lost an arm, okay, this is... Well, Teosop is going to have to hope to get very lucky, because they're fighting someone almost 3 times better than they are. Go on, Mavronis. Did Mavronis also get the better weapon? They did. Everything's on Mavronis here. Teosop will have to get very lucky to survive. Oh, and they did manage to land a hit there. In fact, they took care of a lot of that manipulation by slicing deeply into Mavronis' arm. However, the movement has been crippled on Teosop because they took a big stab to the leg, and these injuries are severe thanks to these swords that we're using. 40 damage! Holy moly! Mavronis got stabbed square in the head, almost killing him. However, you just had your leg cut off entirely, Teosop. you might fall due to lack of moving, but you don't feel the pain so much. If you can kill Mavronis with another shot to the head, then victory will be yours. You did take another shot on Mavronis, wasn't the head though. That manipulation has really been cut down on theirs, and that lung is going to stop them from breathing so well. Teosope is still in with a chance. Come on, go for it. Mavronis and Teosope chatted about television. Can there be friendship in war? Okay, now this is where it's falling apart. You failed to hit Mavronis, and you just had your... well, you got bruised there. That's not too bad. Oh, Mavronis comes out on top again. Chopped off the shoulder, chopped off the leg, destroyed the lung, slashed the body, and that's what brought them down. Cracked their pelvis with a good slash there. Mavronis comes away in one piece. Very good. He can get proper medicine, and Teosope can die. Well then, Mavronis, I have a feeling that you are going to be putting Kale down once and for all. Is Mavronis going to make it as a 3-times champion? It looks like that's how it's going to go. Now is not the time, bugs. Okay, the bugs are over there. That's not my problem. That's an ideal place to have the bugs, even. I'm gonna wait for some raiders to deal with that for me. Okay, I'm not surprised that was a boring thing for most... Oh, whoa, Teosope doesn't get good medicine. In fact, Teosope doesn't even get life. John, how would you feel if you got to go and kill some more people? You'd feel good, but I bet Nyx would feel even better at this point. Health, operation, euthanize, by cut, of course. If they want medicine for that, then so be it. It's not a big one. I mean, Nyx could just melee them to death, but that's okay. Prioritize operating on Teosope. There. There's a lot of cleaning work to be done, Orlov, for some reason. Is Nyx okay? Nyx is not okay. He's got the plague, he's got the fibrous mechanites, he's not good. But at least he'll be happier now having killed somebody. Here we go, executing prisoner, satisfying execution. Justice was served and all that. Now go and have someone like Voomer look after you. Health is someone like Voomer in a way. If Nyx could just cough on all of these people, that'd do us a solid. So, this isn't good. I wanted that stuff. I want that Psychic Insanity Lance for one. The animals are probably just fleeing. Yeah, when a big fight like this rocks, the animals just go for it and they get out of here. They might attack my animals, by the way, so if, okay, everyone's on cower indoors anyway, but this could be a problem for us. I didn't honestly expect those to engage. How many are we talking here, numbers-wise? 45? That's a lot. Could we get some Triarian allies as well? We'd ruin our friendship. However, I have a way of getting friendship back. The allies might not do much to help with this either. Humans are not good at taking out large numbers of insects. And yeah, there go all the goods I wanted. That is tragic. I guess on the plus side they're spreading fire here, which is a good way to take these out. In fact, they're actually doing a very good job of dealing with them. A firewall. Oh well, this one's pierced through, and that's the end of them. You know, I'm sure they can do even better. Let's go and send this out as a message of friendship. And anyone who's awake, who's nobody, Meowzilla, go and contact our friends at Triaria. We want some added help here. They have done a decent job of taking care of a few of these, and these guys are split up a bit. Aid, s'il vous plaît. Oh no, they're gonna drag those. They're gonna drag them over here. Oh, that's bad news for me. I might have to help them, and I did not come into this hoping to help someone. Okay, this is bad. They're trying to break this wall down anyway. They want to enter. Nick, so you still dying, by the way? Of course you're dying. Well, do us all a favor. Right, we just gotta get out of there. Or get out there. Not Igor. Anything but Igor. And maybe not the calves here. Or elephant calves don't deserve it. Orlov, you don't need to join in here. You just do what you do, but be sure to cower indoors. The rest of us, come on out. There's work to be done. Against vicious giant insects who have once again come back. Oh, these are such poorly armed allies. Also, I didn't take note of the people that joined in here, though. None of them seem familiar. Nika, Lover, Sin, Gigori. Nah, these are vanilla. And they're trying to break their way in. That is not nice for me. Our friends are fleeing. However, the door is holding. So as long as they don't come and aggro down here, we might be okay. But holy smokes, that's so many of them. Maybe, just maybe, we should leave them be. As long as they don't come here, we're okay. The doors are closed. As long as they stay closed, in fact, we're going to be disallowing these doors so that our colonists don't make any hasty moves. Right, they don't seem aggroed at coming over here. I'm happy enough with that. And I might just consider saving someone like Zippy. But I might also not. This ain't worth our time. Back we go, folks. Call in others to deal with this, not us. These granite walls are good. They'll be able to hold for a while. As for the amount of bugs that they managed to whack... 39, and I reckon maybe another 7 of them will die from wounds. So it's not like they did nothing, but I rather think fire did a lot of that work for them. All this stuff is going to burn away. Well, how about we call some other traders to come and help us out then? Lona, if you could kindly call the Kanga and the Lanzo people. We're going to need to prepare some extra presents for folks as well, I rather think. Yeah, I can't call the Imperium. It's an idea, though. Once these two are done killing each other. Trade caravan is cheaper. Shamans, please. Trade caravan, shaman. Also, the tribals can't join in with military aid anyway. And let's not have anything stupid happen. Everybody be on cower indoors duty. Even though I disallowed the doors, that's not to say they won't still head on out. Oh, right. Here's a small problem. When fire kills people, they treat it as my problem. They're not trying to break down these doors again, are they? I mean, they're trying something. Not thrilled about that. Could they please stay away? I heard a psst. What is that? Does someone have grenades? I guess they did. Good thing that plasteel door is going to happen. Jake, they can cut through walls. I'm well aware of that. I'm just hoping that they don't cut through our walls. Our indoors should probably involve these walls and everything so we can actually fix them. I don't know if we fix doors that are disallowed or not. I guess I could check that, couldn't I? Meowzilla, would you fix this door? No, because it's forbidden. Right, well I'm going to unforbid it in the hopes that you fix it and don't open it. Okay, they're giving up. I think they were just doing that because it got riled up, otherwise it should be okay. Is it worth building traps on the other side of the walls for the next invasion? I don't like traps. Oh, they chip away at the walls here as well. This could be a lot of problems for a lot of people. Meowzilla resting as he often does, even though it's 11 in the morning. I like this kind of passageway under the mountain, so I hope they don't chip away at too much of it. Sometimes they can chip away enough to make it come down and crash upon their heads. Oh my god, uranium, don't mind that out! If I had noticed that ages ago, I would have had it ages ago. Chipping away at the mountain walls means a bigger invasion next time, if there is. Maybe moving map is a good prop. Barcode, you've been advocating this map move for a long time. I'm really starting to think you're just some kind of coward. Well, maybe more than just starting to think. More like affirming it. I can't believe we still haven't got this Thrumbo. I know the chances aren't good of taming it, but I figured Lona would have managed to whisper to it well enough by now. Now, Voomer works on this a lot. I think by now I'd prefer Voomer to work on making us drugs. Does Voomer have that in her workload right now? Crafting. Crafting involves making drugs, right? Well, she has resting as something that she'll do. Okay. What are they doing around here? That's obvious what they're trying to do. Hopefully Meowzilla and Nyx don't oppose to fixing those. Yes, Abaddon, I have seen the Frostpunk announcement. I have also been asked about the Frostpunk announcement many, many times. There's nothing to say about it. It didn't tell us anything. Other than there will be a Frostpunk 2, and big surprise, very successful game gets a sequel. It didn't show any gameplay, didn't give a release date, didn't give us anything to go on. In fact, if you remember when Frostpunk 1 was announced, feels weird to call it that now, the cinematic had nothing at all to do with the game. Okay, well at least that isn't Nyx getting sick, but it's our old champion Mavronis getting sick. That's a shame. People like Mavronis. He's the people's champion. I need this tension between Voomer and John dealt with. John, go and power of love Voomer. I know she's asleep, but what if she weren't asleep? There we go. Nice psychic suggestion there. Get your psi focus back. It's tempting to cap you at 100 psi focus just so I can have more uses for it. John is starting to transition a bit more into a purely military individual. They've got a great weapon, good armor, except for the head, and I am a little worried about that, but I can replace it with a prestige helmet later on, if I can buy one. Imperials would have that, but I don't have a good relation with Imperials right now for some reason. Once this fight between these two is done though, I will be dealing with that. I will make them love me. Fortunately, I have plenty of human leather with which to make people love me. Meowzilla should be in a good place to make a whole lot more of them. It's way too much steel. I need more steel skips for them. Just somewhere to store it all. But close enough to be used for things and not on the front line to be destroyed. Alright, Meowzilla, get to work. You can sleep at night time. Actually, he's going to be a night owl with that kind of sleep going for them. It's as if they don't pay attention to these schedules. I'd rather just... Hang on. That's a problem. I've got... No, it's bed rest. Oh well, fair enough. Can't begrudge them too much, I suppose. I'd paste this here, but have it on a slightly lower importance than the upper ones. I thought he was going straight back to bed there. No, man. Get this work done. And I want this space so I can make more human leathery things. God, I love this track so much. We'll need these, so get to building them. Hopefully they'll come out as masterpieces. Ah, Lona, there we go. Play us some nice music. That fulfills your recreation, and people around you enjoy it, including sickly Nix here. But the track is good. Nix said a word about shrubs to Lona, proclaiming that he is like a shrub. Maybe we misheard him and he said scrub. Excellent, the masterwork's coming out of Meowzilla with these. I was hoping he would make good crowns and things out of that. Maybe, just maybe, this doesn't impact crafting or construction. Ah, maybe smithing doesn't count as crafting or construction. Yeah, that makes sense. Jinx, they're all masterworks. Meowzilla's good at what he does. Maybe he's just accustomed to using human leather. Which I do feel a little short on right now. Ah, they're digging out the uranium. However, I wasn't aware of this. They actually get the uranium at almost full yield. Uranium is very durable and is not flammable. There's a lot of insect jelly for me to have there as well. I wonder if I could claim it as my own and trade it. Ah, this is the best part of it. So good. Again, Nix is in here, but why is Health sleeping here? Ah, the whole sensory mechanites thing. Nix. There we go. Seems pretty hard to get over the fact that slave and master don't want to sleep together, even though they're engaged. I'm looking forward to selling off Orlov, but we need the Imperials to come back at some point. Yeah, I would definitely get attacked if I went out and tried to seal these people up. Actually, they tend not to aggro unless you get too close to them or start attacking any of them, but it does happen. And besides, I would enrage them when the traders arrive, so the traders can go and deal with them for me. I don't care so much about how the natives feel about me. So my plan was to have a big tournament between all of these different peoples, but I'll be honest, the tournaments aren't that exciting. I'll probably just limit it to having it between these Imperial people that I captured, because the payoff just isn't there. The fights are not as thrilling as I would like them to be. Even if you pump them up on Go Juice or Yayo, they still eventually crumble, and they seldom kill each other. Are gun turrets an option? Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of gun turrets. I mean, I could set up a damn good nest of turrets right here. I could wall it off turret, 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 but then this would essentially become a kill box with that. Less exciting. I like pitched battles. It's more of a payoff when it's chatter pawns, though. Ah, you make a compelling argument there. But I can only name people if I have them in the colony. I could enslave them. Right, I'm still on good terms with Concord and Tierria. I'd be on better terms if I saved any of these people, but to save them I did not. John continues to make his art, that's fine. Oh no, okay, right, I thought I had another person here who would die if they tried to leave the map. But our champion Mavaronis is getting better. He'll be good enough to fight it out against Kale soon enough. See, Kale is perfectly normal here, they're just a bit crap at melee. Mavaronis, on the other hand. Maybe I should try dropping some guns here and see what happens. Do they shoot each other? Is it only melee? Has anybody tried this? Pit Nix against the People's Gladiator Mavaronis. Guts versus Irritable Bowel Syndrome. Mavaronis would need a new eye, although we have an eye. He's got some nasty stuff going on here. And besides that, well, he can think. He's not terrible at medical. He's kind. Chemical interest is awful though, especially since I have Luciferium around here. Can't guarantee he wouldn't just chug it all. God's sake, Miazil, you're always sleeping when there's work to be done. And maybe, just maybe, we don't need power conduits here anymore. Wait, what power conduit? I have a power conduit here? Well, let's get rid of that, please. Do I have one here? Oh, I've got a few of them here. Let's just not be having that, shall we? It's kind of nice to see things like that, but show me parts of the old base or the old setup I had. Remember a battery over here? A single gun turret that did almost nothing? Good memories. Yeah, for those that came and destroyed them. Now I just have 2 batteries as backup, just in case the geothermal generator fails. Wouldn't take long to fix it. And it would only cost 1 component, of which I have plenty. Is Lona trying for the thrombo again? There she is. Talking about the link between dead loved ones and artistic ambition. Another 1 point something% chance to grab that thrombo that I really want. I'm noticing my hay stock going down though. I may have to plant that hay at some point. Another failure. It's about a 1 in 60 chance, so I can't be too unhappy about that. Ah, Mavronis and Kale are working together to get out of here. Well then. How do we take care of that? If I punch them, they might punch back, and we know how good Mavronis is at fighting. Nix, you are right in the place to take care of this. Go and give him what's for. He was already down, Nix. Don't shoot him more in the head. Oh, he shot his ear clean off. How about Mavronis? He's one to worry about a bit more. Maybe take a step back before you crack a shot on him. The People's Champion. This doesn't feel right. Okay, well, he had the good sense to go down from a single torso shot. The people's champion. You know, I think with this, Mavronis is going to be winner by default. No, I've got to give him a good shout. He needs to be the 3-time winner. Yeah, at least they tried. Can't begrudge them too much for that. Have Illustration spoken to the prisoners about the power of love? No, he hasn't spoken to them yet. I don't think he sees the need to be talking to them. Maybe, just maybe we could capture Kale as well. You know, Kale, the one who's about to die. Okay, health is on it. Chang's being shot in the head by a shotgun. From, Wait, I thought he got shot in the head. Ah, the shot took his ear clean off. That makes a bit more sense. Being shot in the head with the shotgun, I figure, would be a bit more deadly. Then again, some people survive being stabbed in the head. Unfortunately, Nyx is going to survive the plague yet again. Hopefully lessons have been learned about sickly characters here. They're awful. Could you amputate their limbs before sending them back to the Imperium for John's bloodlust? Well, John's bloodlust wouldn't be improved by that, but the question remains, can we amputate them? And yes, we can. But, okay, that makes sense. We've been killing a lot of people. How about one of them? The loser loses, what do I have here? Right leg, the loser goes away with 2 peg legs. And the winner just gets to go away scot-free. More hunting sites, so some of them very poorly armoured, or poorly defended. Loser donates a limb to the colony. 2 limbs. You can't reuse people's amputated limbs though, only if they're bionics or prosthetics. Wow, Lona actually having downtime now. That's how decadent our colony has become. I need to turn this into a bigger, better prison. And for that, Lona is going to need to do some work, but I also need to remove as much of this roof area as possible. Otherwise, it has the potential to come down on me. Yeah, just remove all of this, please. And then we're going to be digging. It is my biggest fear that Lona somehow collapses a roof down on top of herself. Very high chance that she would die. They can just be absurdly deadly, those. I think I heard some more bugs being created. These things do reproduce constantly. Okay, the enemy numbers are back up at 44, so yes, they are reproducing. Maybe I should do something about that. What's the upside of chocolate? Is it valuable? It's worth good money. And yes, it can be eaten to give a little bit of nourishment, but a good chunk of recreation. It's actually a recreation type, eating nice food. Those foods being chocolate and... well, I don't have any here, but there's plenty here. Chocolate and insect jelly. Of course, these insects will eat that insect jelly. It is an option to keep all these hives alive so that they can be used as insect jelly production things. It's also an idea to just leave this place untouched so that any enemies that come here will get completely floored by insects. Of course, that's assuming they go there and not just come straight here or straight here, but I could always go out, agitate the insects, run away, and Bob's your uncle. Could you recruit the prisoners into throwing grenades at the insects? Yes, but it would be a lot of work for very little gain. 1 grenade or 2 wouldn't do a big help. 1 Doomsday rocket launcher shot here would do a lot of damage to them, though. But again, insects, you have to do a lot of damage to them to bring them down, unless it's the very small ones. Meowzilla, I get... What's with Meowzilla sleeping so much? Ah, rest fall rate. Sensory mechanites, I forget, they make you very tired. Also, John, how's that Luciferium addiction that I gave you doing? Lucy need goes down, he carries... He's not carrying Lucy on him. I think he'll go and pick up Lucy when he goes to give himself some more. Sadly, they don't just automatically carry 5 on them at all times when you tell them that. They only go and stock up to 5 when they go to pick up more. So it'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then he'll pick up more. Which is not how I want it to work, but it's how it's working. There we go, Meowzilla. Taking care of that roof in a way that I really, really don't like! I think all of that roof just fell down. Thankfully there was nobody really crushed by it. Man, I thought they were smart about removing roofs and that. You didn't assign the drugs policy to him. Thank you. God, John could have died if I hadn't known that. There we go, there's John's thing. Well noted, very well noted. There's no way to remove overhead mountain, so I actually need to just get rid of this area, or else it's just begging for an infestation. I'm even going to build some granite wall here. Do I have enough granite to reasonably make granite walls? No, yes, no. Very no. Damn, I'm so low on granite. We need to go out and steal a lot of granite from the surrounding area. There we go, get this granitely walled off, just so I'm not tempted to use it for anything. Build steel walls, you got tons of that, yeah, but steel is flammable. And that's too dangerous. Flammable walls have done me in before, they could do me in again. Okay, kinda hoping for a big attack to incite these. Big raider group coming in from the side, preferably not with mortars. Mortars would be a problem. I can counter mortar them once. There we go. How am I doing on wood then? Because I could use wood here. I got plenty of wood. In that case, let us make wood walls here. I just want to wall it in so the game isn't tempted at all to let there be insects spawning here. Wait, health is on mining? Nobody should be on mining other than Lona. No, it's just because they want to build this. In that case, let's cancel all of that and have Lona do it instead. Lona knows what's up. I do like the way Lona does that. Forget it, next it ain't worth it. It's the same with wood cutting while constructing. Yeah, I don't like that. I'd rather just set the thing to be cut rather than have the constructor try to cut it down. That way if it's set to cut, someone actually assigned to cutting it will get it done. But there are tons of little niggles like that in RimWorld. In fact, there are tons more that you don't see here because I've installed about 30 mods to deal with those. And that's exactly the thought process that makes me put in mods in the first place. It's like, this aspect of the game is really annoying. And then I just remove it with a mod and everything's better. Well, those shaman merchants aren't likely to last long. Oh, well, no, they might. They might avoid pathing through these, and I might be able to buy their stuff. I want that gold, otherwise they don't have a lot of value. Let's see if they manage to stay away from these guys. Don't notice any names there that we haven't seen before. It is still tempting to aggravate these guys, but I'll wait for a proper raid. A hive has reproduced itself. Does that mean there's been a new hive? Possibly. Hey John, can you in and out, no mucking about, go and trade with these people, please? Yeah, okay, this is where it's becoming overhead mountain. But I'm still going to keep on mining this out, just to see where we end up. And I still wish to have this zoned as remove overhead roof wherever possible. You gotta peel it back like layers. But that's okay. On you go, John. Right. Again, they didn't have a lot to interest me. I wouldn't mind that Psychic Soother. Oh, I haven't taught Berserk Pulse yet. I need to get on that. But always, I want the lances, I want the gold. So do that and get out of here, John. However, with the exception of that one, go and bring these meals back while you're at it, please. There we go, and just like that, John is no longer unrestricted. There's no point throwing our lives away to all of these things. Also, making drugs makes you smart. Boomer's maintaining her staggering 19 intellect, thanks to all of this flake making. Any good weapons on Team Bugs ate us, Jake? I highly doubt it. A lot of them burnt away, but otherwise, there's almost nobody that's going to be bringing weapons that I want. It's very rare for anybody to have more than a good weapon, and even then it's excellent at best. So I guess an excellent or good sniper rifle would interest me. Otherwise, a better monosword or a better quality charge rifle or charge lance. But those are only used by Imperials. The other things that would interest me are rocket launchers, but those are only brought in by raiders. I've never seen allies bring rocket launchers. Of course, if they were to bring them, I'd be much obliged. It's a little sad how slowly we do this, but 1, 1, and 1 is just to not have anything inside this overhead mountain area. We don't like overhead mountains. No, we don't. And it's a shame we can't see very easily where all the overhead mountains are. It means we have to mine out like layers here if I want this to be a proper area that I use for a prison, and I will use it as a prison. Let's mine all this out as well. It's just getting in the way. New viewer, and heard you mention the Arconexus ending. Can you give some brief insight as to what that brings? You need to raise a colony to 350,000 wealth, and then you get rid of the colony and everything in it, and then you keep 5 animals and 5 colonists, and take them anywhere else on the map. And unfortunately, after that, you just do the same thing 2 more times. And then you get the Arconexus ending, and I don't know what the ending is, and I'd rather not have that spoilt. I don't like the fact that you have to build up 3 bases and sell them all. I think that's super lame, so I'm going to try and find a way around that. I wish I could find a way around all these sensory mechanites, forcing my people into bed all the time. Actually, I have a way around. It's called the thing that stops you from needing sleep all the time, but its name keeps evading me somehow. Let's mine this out as well. Go ho! What do we have here? We've got some compacted steel. Unfortunately, I have very little need for steel. Who's wearing ratty apparel? Meowzilla and Nixar. I don't mind ratty apparel. What you would do to avoid ratty apparel is make them change if it goes below 50% health left. I like to wait till it's below 25%, because then you get 50% more use out of them. You can wear them for a lot longer. And the impact from wearing ratty apparel is not very bad. -3 for ratty apparel, too bad. We'll live with it. Since I'm not actually drowning in good materials to make more clothes with. I have cloth here, but cloth isn't good. Heavy fur and thrumbo fur, those are good. Big paws, what is it? Supplies for da-da-da. They would like to purchase human leather. Okay. Yes, you can. That's a very good offer. I don't know who Aiko is, and I know I don't like them. A healer mech serum is tempting. That's a ton of Glitterworld medicine, but that's a ton of Lucy. Yeah, I'm aware of that one, Pope. But I don't want to be building up anything to sell anyway. I just want to immediately bang, bang, bang. I have some plans for it, but I need to test them. I will. Send a caravan with 330 human leather over to the Blue Toxos. That's not nearby. But at least crossing this is easy and we can eat during it. And if I bring some elephants, we could deal with the logging site. And, oh no, camel hide is good. I want that camel hide. We take care of the work site. We don't know or care who Gallium are. I mean, there's always the opportunity to do both, but a wood wouldn't go amiss. Get the Lucy. Yeah, but Glitterworld medicine. 25 Glitterworld meds and a healer mech serum. That healer mech serum could cure a brain scar. It could cure a missing anything. Could cure dementia. Yeah, let's say John unfortunately got shot in the head and got a brain scar. Actually, bad example. John's on Lucy, it would heal naturally. Let's say Lona got shot in the head and got a brain scar. That healer mech serum could save them. Lucy would also cure them. Why am I on Lucy, says John. Well, we found a huge batch of it. Oh, maybe not huge, like 20 odd of it. And it only made sense for you to take it. And now your body is better than human. Can you drop Pod John over and space magic him back? Yes, yes I can. And it wouldn't have to be John, but it could be John. How's your space magic there, John, for a far casting? Far skipping needs 70% of your psi focus, but you have that. John could just take the leather over there and be done with it. Alright, we'll tear apart the least good bedrolls that we made. A lot of them are masterwork, so I don't really want to get rid of those, but... I'm gonna have to, I think. Oh, well, no, I've got these. Oh, these are masterwork bedrolls. Uninstall those and disassemble these, and we'll see how much human leather we have. Yeah, Zilla, get up and get doing that, please. Death does not remove Luciferium addiction. If you die and are revived, you are still a Lucy addict. Sadly, I lose most of, well, not most of it, but a lot of the human leather that I make these bedrolls out of. And they want hundreds of this stuff. Well, I have a little bit of human leather right here. And I have a bit of human leather out here that isn't spoilt, but it spoils very soon. If I go here, I'm not going to antagonize the others, so let's get on that, shall we? John, Orlov, Nix, Lona. John. Alright, we should strip them while they're out there so they don't take up all that space. Strip and haul. Strip and haul. Did I say Nix as well? Probably. Strip and haul. The most dangerous one is for you. Strip and... haul. That'll bring them over here, and then they will be butchered for their skin. Rein that in a bit. And hopefully we don't antagonize any of our insectoid friends. How much Lucy do we have in stock? About 20 odd. 22 there, and John should have some on him soon enough if he hasn't picked up some already. There we go, and that. Multiply that by about 5, and that's how many days worth of Lucy we have. I like that we make up for John's missing toe by power of Lucy. Keep you back on cowering indoors, and hopefully John slices these up double time. Oh, well, John takes his Lucy. That's good. He does have the need for it. Ah, there we go. Don't watch telly. Butcher. We need this skin. Now there's the question. Do we get more Lucy or do we get all that other stuff? I feel like I'm somehow going to accidentally bring these beasts over to hurt me. And I won't have much good to... Oh god, they are multiplying massively. There's 61 of them. But if they stay there and I stay here, there's nothing to worry about. That's how I'm seeing it. My walls are made of granite and are very durable against their attacks. The trouble, I guess, would be if they start coming through this. But you know, there's a lot of stuff for them to get through if they want to get through me through the stone walls. Some of this is double walled as well. There we go. Okay, John, you don't need to be making kibble. That's plenty of human leather. So let's grab this and fill it full of it. Human leather. How much do they want again? Quest. They want... Oh, 330. Do I have 330? Of course I do. We just haven't picked it all up yet. John, please haul all that human leather. Wait, maybe I didn't get enough. Oh no, it's down here. We'll be okay. Don't tell me I'm still a little shy on human leather. I don't want to be hearing that. Ah, John's carrying a bit still. He just needs to unload it after he eats his food. Right. So items, human leather, 330 of it. And then I'm going to shove someone else in there, put them out. Well, it's going to be John, because I can far skip him back nice and easily. And even if somehow that fails, John has plenty of plant skill, so he'd live on the way back. How you doing, Mavronis, the people's champion? He survived his infection. I'm waiting for these to heal up, and then he's going to fight Kale to the death. Although Kale themselves needs to get better from all of those. Ooh, that's actually inside this area. I'll grab that. The bug hives continue to reproduce and fill the map. I could really do with a massive raid to clear those out for me, game. It would be a big help. John would have plenty of Lucy to walk back. In fact, he wouldn't need any Lucy. One dosage of Lucy will last you for about 5 days. I don't know if the psychosis that you get after losing out on enough Lucy goes away if you just take some Lucy. It's unknown to me. Okay, there's the 330 human leather they want. 330 human leather. But what do we take, the Lucy or this? Frankly, I think we have tons of Lucy. And there will be more Lucy. So I'm going to accept it for that. And John needs to get in here. Reload transporter with 1 Illustration the Brave. It's still fine. He'll be able to carry stuff. He has no food, but that's okay. Get in there, John. The shaman is here. Okay, again, they seem to be avoiding taking the unnecessarily dangerous route. And they bring some shock lances and gold for me. That I like as well. Haven't seen any custom characters for a while. I used to know a guy that called himself Skunk, but that was a while ago. Right, so we launch you right the way over to here. Oh man, I could easily make a mistake here, like a bad misclick. That would make me send John away as a present. So let's not do that. Visit Blue Toxos, not a gift. Visit. Whee! And that is some speed to be going at. Hop. There we go. Now Illustration just trades. Oh, right. Fulfill trade offer. That's a good way to do it. Nice. And now for some reason you are too heavy. Don't tell me that they gave you that gear directly over to you. They did. But that's okay, because you can far skip back to here with all the gear, right? With all the gear. Whew. Okay, good. I'm glad I've done that once and now understand how it works. Also, you're carrying too much crap. Drop the steel, drop pretty much everything. And there we go. And while you're at it, how about you go and call that company. Psychic powers are good, but they take a lot of time to charge up for. John can't do that whenever he wants. He needs to charge up his Psycast powers. That only takes time, but time is important. Also, I can get rid of most of my flake here. That's useful. Thought I could buy Lucy, but no Lucy for us. I need to teach you Berserk Pulse, but I'll get to it. They have a Zeus hammer, but it's only normal quality, so it's not really worth getting. I'd be interested in a Persona one that they'd have. Otherwise, they got lots of normal stuff. They just do not have a lot of value here for me. Even that charge lance that I have, if I sell it there, I don't get a lot of value out of it, sadly. So what do I want? Do they have anything of use here? Perhaps. They have a Prestige Marine helmet. If John were to wear this, he'd probably be... Oh, he'd be very happy with that. It's good, so it wouldn't degrade that badly. Faster than I'd like, but it would offer him excellent everything on the head, so I think I will get that for him despite the cost. I'm paying for it in drugs, so it's okay. That's alright. Oh, I can get rid of the silver plate armor. Good. Good, I want its value back. I got some crummy recon stuff that's a little injured there, so I can get rid of that. And that means I can keep some more of my drugs. Dark Young would be so proud. Yeah, keep the change. There you go, that's what you get to wear now, John. I know you liked your golden crown, and that's why we will display your golden crown prominently by your side right here. Zone, stockpile zone, here, critical importance, and it holds nothing but our crown. Are EMP grenades any good? Not really. Chengji, you look downright Centurion now. And he finally doesn't mind not having the right gear on. Good. EMP is guaranteed stun on mechs. Afterwards they get more resistant stuns. Like a Zeus hammer. And why would you not just use a Zeus hammer where you actually do damage with it as well? The problem with EMP grenades is that if you are fighting your enemies using your own bionics, then those bionics are at risk. Especially if they're in your brain, they could cause you to have a brain meltdown. And you don't want that. 10 to health, please. And Orlov, you don't deserve sleep, so please go and haul this stuff. Otherwise, on you trot, everybody. This is becoming a problem. How about some nice big juicy attack, Randy? I could really do with it. I'm pumping these people up on Go Juice for the finale. I really need to get my friendship back with the Imperium. Administer Go Juice and administer Go Juice. There we go, Kale's got it. Mavronis has got it. And, oh, they got overdosed. I've never seen an overdose before. What does that do? He just overdid him on Go Juice there. How does that work? I mean, they're not going to be getting up for the fight, that's for sure. How long does it take an overdose to pass? High on Go Juice. Oh, they enjoyed the duel. Oh, that's good. I feel pumped but steady. I am the bullet in flight, ready to cut through you. Never seen... Well, no, I saw an overdose once, and that was, I think, the very first time I played RimWorld. And that was when Nitro got a girlfriend who was addicted to Wake Up, and then promptly died overdosing on Wake Up. Oh well, I'll get alerted when our friend is capable of walking again. I wonder what the odds of an overdose on Go Juice is. Random overdose chances not high. 1 in 200. It's alright though, I wasn't that unlucky. I've been throwing Go Juice around here and there. I keep Go Juice on John in case he's in a do or die situation, and I'm willing to take that 1 in 200 chance. It's also the chance that he would get addicted to it, but that again I think we can handle. This is becoming a huge problem. I hope they don't go aggroing on me, because I would not have much to deal with them. I'd use the triple rocket launcher, I'd call in both of my allies. Probably call in both of John's extra troopers. I could orbital barrage them if they came out from their little shell there. It's about as good as I'd get. Good to see Meowzilla finally getting on that drugs, yeah, converting all those drugs. That's what we need. This is not what we need though, that's a lot of bugs. Vicious giant insects. 74 of them. Just let the wealth and get the wealth and run from the place and never look back. The wealth is getting there, but I need another big spike up. I'm going to be getting rid of a bunch of my wealth when I send off all these bedrolls to my good friends. I should prep that actually, so I can do it quickly. It's a lot of masterwork bedrolls. It still might not be enough. I should fill this up with those good guns too. Where are those guns? Here we go. Oh, bio-coded one's no good. But here we go. Regular charge lance is worth great money. Not giving them the triple rocket launcher though. Hell no, that's mine. Anything else around here worth good money to send over to them? I don't like that cloth hood, so they can have that back. Something to remember their old Stellark by. There's a lot of flak. Oh, it's tainted flak. Some filters on this list would go a long way, I think. Oh, you can also have this excellent prestige robe. But that prestige robe keeps its value, so I'd rather not send that away. Same thing could be said about the hood, but I don't think the hood is terribly valuable, is it? Well, it's gone now. Crazy Transport has left comms range. Load is ready. I'm not sending this, but I want to see what it's worth. It's not worth a lot. What do you mean ready for launch? I didn't... For some reason the bedrolls didn't go in. Okay, there we go. Serious value in those bedrolls. People love the bedrolls I make. Much better. In fact, that's too much better. Kick out the hood and a couple of these bedrolls. Much better. No point overspending here. That stuff is good for making friends. And I need friends. I certainly need friends. Could you fumigate the cave? Kind of. If I was able to wall it all off, I'd be able to make it indoors and then set a lot of fire to heat it up. So yes, fumigation is an option, but there are too many exits for me to shore up without them getting angry. Alright, Mavronis is healed up, but still not able to... Well, actually, you know what? You're just going to have to deal with that drug overdose. You're high enough on go juice to see through it, and this will be a nice offset for your otherwise massive advantage you have in the fight. So let it begin between... No, not Orlov and Mavronis, that wouldn't be good. Kale and Mavronis. Make it happen. Now this is going to be boring. There's no way this is going to go well unless somebody somehow dies. But with a Masterwork Plasteel Gladius in play, there is a chance. A couple good strikes to the head and Mavronis could go down. Kale needs this handicap. Kale is useless. Kale is injured, shot by the chain gun, and not very good at fighting. Mavronis, conversely, is an employably professional fighter, with sensory mechanites improving his everything. Also, he appears to have gotten over his overdose. Sorry, Cole, I'm sending you to death. But there's always a chance. If Kale manages to get the Masterwork sword, that'll certainly give him an advantage here. And he just needs to shank his enemy in the head. Twice. Alright, the purity of physical conflict. Yes, between these naked cripples. John's really... He looks so fancy in all that gear. And very well protected with a shirt, vest, and a cape. Actually, the only thing I'd like to give him is even better trousers for better leg protection. But overall, let's see, his defense... I thought there's something like total defense that shows here. Maybe I'm not seeing it. I could have sworn that it shows total defense after everything's taken into account. It's just showing apparel? Ah, that's his naked body's defense. Maybe there is somewhere, and if someone knows where it is, I'd love to hear it. But hey ho. Epic weapons and fighters. Yeah, no new entries for the chat, both in this session and last so far, which is surprising. The screen behind stats is overall armor. Screen behind stats? You mean bio? I'm not sure what you mean. I'd just love to see how much sheer armor this man has. The gear tab. Ah, overall armor, 109% against sharp, 26 against blunt, and 80... So it's best to hit John with up-close blunt attacks. And there aren't many of those at this point. Compared to, say, Lona. Oh, Lona's got even better defense? How can this be? Lona's wearing an excellent Thrombophore Duster, which does help, I suppose. Compare that to a naked body, which has no defense. And Nyx, who has considerably less. So John seems quite well defended, but he is still a human, and humans are squishy. Alright, as John praises the honourable combat, it is time for a painful death, which he also praises. So, Jings, Mavronis is flying all over the place. It's little surprise, since he has 150% movement speed. It's 44% more than old Kale has here. They're about to engage, spill some blood. And there we go, immediate one. Kale gets shanked hard. His shoulder's been cut badly. There goes his manipulation. And his torso got really badly cut. 20 damage there. Another hit like that in the torso and Kale is going to die. Which would be good. We would like a good death here. Mavronis, three-time champion, is quick to give it. You know, there was a scene like this in Gladiator as well. Are we not entertained? Oh, he's got chemical burns from his own death acidifier. But there we go. Two shanks in the torso, dealing massive damage, and Mavronis comes out on top. And the best that Kale could do to him is just to hit him with his fist. So the loser was meant to have their legs chopped off and sent back, but it looks like loser isn't getting sent back at all. Very good on you. Very good on you indeed. Let's patch up what's left on you, and otherwise you are released. I hope you don't wander into the hive. Well, John's feeling pretty good about that, having witnessed yet another death with bloodlust. I saw someone die. That was intense. Now I'm wondering if the butcher... Well, actually, you'll be brought over there to be butchered anyway. Could always send Kale back as a bedroll. That is kind of the idea here. Where'd the other sword go? Don't tell me we're letting him keep the sword. I mean, he is the 3 times champion, but did anyone see where the good sword went? Where'd it go? It got acidified. Oh, right. Since when did that affect weapons? Ah, I see. Normally they drop the weapons when they go down. Okay, better keep that in mind next time we have people fight with our good weapons. I want another plasteel gladius, please. And well done, Mavronis. After everything you've done, you're allowed out. Now please do not make the hive unhappy.